Saw to the band, these bitches' brains is filled with pollution. And ain't nobody revealed the solution. We gotta take a stand somehow. I got the 10 whole commandments now. Let me hand them down. Come on. The number one rule, never engage with a simp. Right.
I see y'all tapping in already. What's up with it?
How you gonna have the game on lock without your rock, bitch?
Yeah. P-Chat niggas good looking. With the $2 holler, you dig?
Seduced for your chips. See that trick, goddamn, whether you choose to or not. This player be played, don't ever lose to a spot. The third one, that renegade shit is for losers. I'm knowing the majority of your niggas is users. Avoid the lean fiends and dope slave niggas. Choose the master of itself and have elf and wealth. Number 4, respect the game and everybody in it. That means when
y'all already know to get out, man. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button when you fall in up here in the pimp's domain. You dig?
Number 5, don't be in it just to be in it. Hope be in it to win it and push that shit to the limit. Yeah, you down, but you in your phone the whole damn time.
And you ain't check, man, dime.
Number 6, bitch, keep them drugs out your mix.
Yeah, we gonna have us a good one, man. Hold on a second.
The reason why you 21 and looking 56, cause you never let a day go by without your fix. Number 7, don't be showing shit that came out the next bitch.
Light was kind of fucking with the
you weak bitches trying to take a real whole
fucking with the look.
That shit is hella lame, just forget it. That 8th one, don't bet for.
Y'all hear me cool?
So many bitches snitching on the pimpin' is ridiculous. Real hoes ain't snitching on the next bitch, neither. Better not. Stripes, boss, no Adidas, number Nina. You don't wanna be taking
Information Man Show. Peace to you as well. Khalil, blessings.
Without compensation is useless. Bitch, bring the bag, not excuses.
I see y'all checking in, man. Top of it to all y'all.
Before you break bad, make sure the pimpin' got bucks. Karma may disappear, but she'll make a reappearance. And when the tables turn,
Pimpin' ain't gonna wanna hear it now.
If you forsake these rules, take a wise pimp advice.
Bitch, embrace these jewels. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about how everything ain't pimping, man, because a lot of people think that just because they get some money from a bitch that it's a pimping, man, but not everything is pimping, you dig? We're gonna talk about that this evening, man. Get some clarity on the situation. Clarity about this game.
At this moment, we did the bullshit with riches. Take these commandments and do damage to enrich finances for yours and your folks' advancement. Move forward in greatness.
Josh Brown from LA, what's up with it? Top of it to you, man. Skull Bay, what's up with it, man? I see you.
They may be encouraged to join you on your mission.
Big Pat from Big Assyrian Pat from Sydney, Australia. I see you, man. What's up with it? Says you can hear this game loud and clear, huh? Dig that. I'm glad you can, man. We're going to give a second for a few more people to come up in here, man. But once again, as always, y'all already know who it is, what it is. Freezes it, the God-anointed, game-appointed gentleman. If you haven't already wiped your feet off at the door when you enter the pimp's domain, please do so now. What I mean by that is go ahead and hit that like button one time for a pimp. You dig? And I greatly appreciate you for it. Y'all already know, man. First order of business, as usual over here on Freezes It's channel, man. Got to put some love in your life, man. Take a small love break. Taj Jones with the $2 holler. Good looking. Much appreciated. New Child say self-love is the best love. Indeed. Fucking this water up. Robel say, yeah, that's P. Diddy water. Yeah, it's actually Puff and Mark Wahlberg. It's a joint venture that they have with this aqua hydrate water. Sean Combs, Mark Wahlberg, they came together and put this together, you did. And it's a pretty good product. E. Roddy, good looking with the Big Ben, you dig? Cheers to the love, P. In store for another classic. Yeah, we're going to give a classic this evening, man. talk about this good game and how everything ain't pimping. Because a lot of people think that just because a broad give her money to some dude that is some pimping, and not every case. In fact, in today's times, a whole lot of cases, where a broad is giving her money to a guy, is not some pimping going on. Christian Murphy, as always, good looking and blessings to you as well. We're gonna wait for a few more people to come up in the room, and we're gonna get it cracking. You dig? Yeah. But yeah, man, not every situation is pimping, man. We're gonna talk about it. New child, yeah, we're gonna set the record straight for sure. Perform like a punk, but won a winner's reward. I-9 Bash, you already know, man. There's a whole lot of that going on in the game, too. That's a whole nother separate video, where females is performing like a punk, but want a winner's reward, man. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that another time. I don't know why. Okay. Christian Murphy, no new music yet, but it's on the way, though. It's definitely in the works. I know it's a little delayed. I was expecting to have something put together by this point, but uh, it's definitely in the works though. It ain't a situation where, Pimp just sitting back with no plans to do it. It's actually being worked on. It's in the works. It's in motion. It's just taking a little longer than anticipated. Okay, we got enough people in here right now, so we're gonna get it cracking, man. But tonight's topic, man, not everything is pimping. Got to give some clarity on this game, man, because a lot of people think that certain things that ain't got nothing to do with this pimping, is pimping. So people associate the bullshit with the pimping. And a lot of these dudes that think they're pimps are confused. And they do shit in the name of pimping that ain't got nothing to do with the pimping. So, yeah, we're going to get some clarity about that shit tonight, man. Uh, Once again, if you haven't already, wipe your feet off at a pimp's door when you step into this domain. Hit that like button one time. But yeah, man, what put this on my mind, what put this topic on my mind, is because I've seen it time and time again. But recently I had a young lady on my line, right? And she talking about how she digging on me. She peeped me out. She found me on social media. She was looking at me. She was digging on me, and she had came to the point where she wanted to make a move in my direction, but she ended up getting with this dude. And the situation that she in with this dude is like she trapped in Alcatraz. You know what I mean? She like on Gilligan's Island with her hoeing, and the dude, you know, I guess he considered himself, trying to be some pimping. He trying to get in the game. He trying to get his feet wet or whatever the case may be. But the things that he's doing is really a recipe for disaster. And fortunately for him, from the vibe that I get from the young lady that's fucking with him, she's not the type to put them people in his business. But the shit that he's doing, he's really throwing the people an alley oop to slam dunk his motherfucking ass. By the way he handling things with this broad, and probably didn't handle things with other broads in the past. And it's just not a good look, man. Because she like, yeah, I want to come fuck with you, but I'm with this guy, and he stays in the room with me, and he cause she got a I can't remember if it's text now, but it's one of them apps, you know what I mean, where that people use to have a secondary phone number. So she playing the internet, you dig? She got an in call. Dude stays at the in call with her like just about all day, even sleeps at the in call with her. Uh, he got the app. Like I said, she uses the app with the secondary phone number, and that's her business line that she deal with the clientele on. He's logged into the app from his phone under her account, so whenever she get a message, he get the message. You know what I mean? Whenever she send a message, he can see the message that she's sending, so he's able to monitor the entire conversation between her and the clientele. And the hotel is in a remote area, so she can't walk to nothing. It ain't no restaurants, it ain't no stores, it ain't nothing around there. You dig? And on top of that, she's not from that area. You dig? This is an area that he's from, so he done took her to his backyard. And on top of her not being familiar with the area, it's a remote area that's not within walking distance of anything. So the broad kind of like, in a lot of ways, she feel trapped. And whenever she does go somewhere, she has to rely on him to drive her there. If she want to go get something to eat, he drive her there. I believe she smoked weed. If she want to smoke weed, he drives her to go get the weed, or he go get the weed and bring it back to her. You dig? And it's just not. It's that ain't got nothing to do with pimping. It's a lot of dudes out there that's operating like that, and they think that they doing some pimping, but what you doing is really, as people like to use the phrase, throwing rocks at the penitentiary. That's pretty much what you doing. You dig? You poking the bear, and the bear being law enforcement. That's what you're doing. You playing with fire in them type of situations, because see, pimping. One thing about pimping is you got to be a confident individual, man. And when you confident in your pimping, you're not really tripping off a broad to the point where you got to sit back and mind. That ain't even a pimp's job. Pimp ain't even got time to or energy to worry about uh, what a broad is doing every second of the day, to the point where he got to monitor every move and all that type of shit, man. Pimping ain't got nothing to do with that. You dig? And see, along these same lines, right? One problem a lot of you dudes got, they call yourselves the pimping. Everybody say it's by choice, not by force, right? It's by choice, it's not by force. Y'all, a lot of y'all's idea of that is when it comes to choosing, like choosing you. You let the broad know that it's by choice, not by force, and as far as choosing you. But what y'all also don't let the broad know, what you should let her know, is that it's also by choice, not by force, when it comes to her leaving. Just as easily as she chose to be with you, she should be able to choose to leave your motherfucking ass if that's what she want to do. But y'all don't teach bitches that part of the game. And then you get bitches in these situations and you make a bitch feel trapped. Bitch can't even breathe. This same broad that I'm talking about with this dude who got her in this remote area she not familiar with. She can't go nowhere. He monitoring the conversations between her and the tricks, and sleeping at the end call with her and everything. Cause like I said, she on my line, acting like she want to fuck with me. So I say, cause it's not walking distance, but they not too far from downtown. And downtown in any city got some kind of bar, some kind of hotel, to go fuck with or something like that. So I say, hey, see if he'll take you downtown. Cause when I was talking to her at the time, she was outside and he was in the end call sleep. And she's outside, talking to me on the phone. So I say, go wake him up, because it was still kind of early in the night. I say, go wake him up and see if he'll take you downtown, so you could go play the bars and the hotels and things down there like that, make something happen. She go ask him, and he like, nah, I don't want you to do that. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of these dudes who do that same type of shit. You keep a bitch on the internet in the end call that's far away from everything, and if she want to go work the track, you won't let her. If she want to go work the carpet, you won't let her. If she want to go play at the casinos or a bar or a hotel or something like that, you won't allow her to do that shit. You want the bitch right on the internet where you can monitor every motherfucking move. That ain't got nothing to do with no pimping, man. That's not the game. And yeah, the bitch giving you a little few dollars and shit like that. But like I said, it's a recipe for disaster. You really setting yourself up for the fall. Because like I said, with this particular female, she doesn't seem like the type, because I'm pretty sure I would have picked that up in her conversation already, that she was the type that, if too much time passed and she don't see another way out, she gonna end up putting the people in his business. Fortunately for him, she's not that type of broad, but every broad ain't gonna be like her, especially in today's times. We in a culture, in a climate now, where it's just cool to snitch. Like, A bitch could tell on a pimp. She could tell on 5 pimps. She could tell on 20 pimps. And motherfuckers are still gonna want the bitch. Motherfuckers still gonna accept her. So, it's just a different time now. It's cool. It's okay. It's not a bad thing really to snitch on somebody. Everybody try to say it is, everybody talk like that, but not everybody walk like that. So, um, but the bottom line is he's setting himself up to have a bitch like that in his mix just gonna fuck around and feel trapped to the point where she see her only way out is law enforcement. She gonna put them people in his business. He gonna be sitting in jail somewhere, and she gonna be fucking with the next motherfucker. Shit crazy. And see, motherfuckers wonder why we got all these motherfucking human trafficking laws. It's shit like that. That shit right there ain't got nothing to do with pimping. Bitch giving you some money, she selling her pussy and she giving you the money, but that ain't got nothing to do with no pimping. And like I said, another problem in the game is that you encourage bitches to choose you, and it's by choice and not by force and all of that. But then when the bitch get over there with you, you're not letting her breathe. You making a bitch feel trapped, and you make a bitch like scared to leave you. A lot of y'all got intimidation moves and all type of shit. You make a bitch like scared to leave your motherfucking ass. And see, the difference between that type of shit and some actual pimping gonna let a bitch know when she come, like, look, I ain't gonna never force you to do anything. I'm never gonna pressure you or intimidate you to do anything. And whenever you wanna leave, you ain't gonna have no problem for me. I'm gonna allow you to leave peacefully whenever you feel like it. You ain't gonna have no problem out of me if you ready to go. Matter of fact, I'll help you. You need me to drop you off somewhere, or you need me to, help you get somewhere, I got you. Don't even trip. You dig? That's what the pimping gonna do. You know? That's what the pimping gonna do. But you guys, a lot of you dudes, you don't let bitches know that she got the option to choose. You know what I mean? And that's something that a pimp gonna put in the bitch head every time too. Like, look, bitch, you know what I mean? If you gonna leave for me, at least go to some pimping. Don't go choose no boyfriend. Don't go choose no trick. Don't go try to renegade from your mama's house. Choose a pimp. You know what I mean? Stay with some pimping. Keep some pimping in your life. If you're gonna be in this game, keep some pimping in your life. Know what I mean? And don't that's another thing, because a lot of bitches got that shit bad. Bitches, they'll go choose some square ass dude and have some square ass dude who ain't even close to no pimping calling us and call himself trying to serve a real pimp. Bitch telling him, he like, well, I don't know how to do this. What am I supposed to do? Oh, just tell him, that I chose up with you, you my folks now, and he ain't got to worry about me, and that's pretty much it. So you got these square ass niggas calling the pimping, acting like they serving the pimping. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. This pimping hat box the square from Delaware. You know what I mean? Just stepping in the game, but starting to mash on bitches like I just don't care. You dig? Yeah, I was just letting you know. Hold on a second. What am I supposed to say, baby? Just tell him that you're my new folks. I just chose you, and he doesn't have to worry about me anymore. Hello, yeah, pimping. I'm back with you, man. Yeah, like I said, man. This hat box, the square from Delaware, and I'm just letting you know, I'm her new folks, and you don't have to worry about her no more, man. I got her now. You know what I mean? Yeah. You, bitches be doing this type of shit. You know what I mean? And like I said, the pimping is gonna encourage the bitch to choose some motherfucking pimping, you know. And a big part of the reason why bitches choose squares is because of the way that you guys handle these bitches. When a hoe is in the game and she fucking with some pimping, and she done really been pimped on, she really come to a point where she can't be comfortable trying to function in this game with a square, because she know this square nigga, he don't understand her. He can't relate to her. And then he gonna start getting attached to her pussy to the point where, you know what I mean, he get on that monitor and protecting shit. Because that's another thing that I didn't mention too about the situation with the broad on my line who got the dude hovering all over. You know what I mean? He's sleeping at the end call with the bitch, so he trying to fuck on her every 2 seconds. You know, and that be the thing. And them dudes be getting attached to the pussy and all that type of shit. And when they get attached to the pussy, they start feeling some type of way about who the bitch talking to, when, why, where, all that other type of shit. You know what I mean? And you like I said, you start making a bitch feel trapped, man. But that type of shit ain't got nothing to do with this pimping, man. But like I say, um, when you do things like that, you the bitch ain't turned on or nothing. She ain't turned she hasn't been turned out. And not only has she not been turned out, but she's not turned on by no pimping because you ain't done no pimping on her. So when she leave you, when she finally get away from you, 9 times out of 10, she gonna go choose some old square ass dude because that's really all you was. You was a square with some, intimidation tactics or weirdo tactics to try to keep the bitch. But when a bitch actually been pimped on, she might try to go, she might, foolishly try to go fuck with a square, but that shit ain't gonna last long. Bitch gonna soon realize, you know what, I need some pimping in my life. I need to be mashed on. Hoes like to be mashed on. In a square, he not gonna do that. He like to be mashed on by the bitch. You know what I mean? So how's that gonna work? You know what I mean? You got two motherfuckers together that like to be mashed on. That shit ain't gonna go nowhere fast. Somebody got to do the mashing. Somebody got to get mashed on. You can't have two motherfuckers together and both of them is sitting back waiting on who gonna mash on who. You know what I mean? He's sitting there waiting on the bitch to mash on him. The bitch sitting there waiting on him to mash on her, and it just ain't no mashing going on. They both just sitting there waiting like, damn, I hope I get mashed on sometime soon. That, right, like New Child say, mash on me to pee. You know what I mean? That shit ain't gonna go nowhere. Somebody got to do the mashing. And when it's a real hoe, she gonna, like I said, she gonna get around that type of dude and she gonna soon realize, you know what, this ain't for me, man. I gotta get mashed on. He not finna mash on me. He waiting on me to mash on him. I gotta leave him alone and go choose some pimping. You dig? And every situation, like we say, all good things come to an end. So a bitch, she might be with some pimping for a period of time, and that's what she's into. But it might come a time where she don't want to be with that particular P no more. That don't mean that she don't want to be with no pimping, period. She just, they time then came to an end. But she still gonna want some pimping in her life. Just not him no more. And pimps understand that, and because we understand that, we encourage that and instill that in a hoe. Like, look, just because you don't want to fuck with me, don't mean that you don't want to fuck with no pimping. You want to fuck with some pimping, bitch, if you're gonna be in this game. If you're gonna really be a hoe, fuck with some pimping. And just because you don't like me, don't mean you won't like the next pimp. But just make sure it's some pimping. Don't go choose no square. Don't go choose no trick. Don't go choose one of these old weirdo ass niggas that's gonna fall in love with your pussy and try to trap you and all that old weird shit. Don't fuck with some nigga that's waiting to be mashed on by you when he's supposed to be mashing on you. Choose some pimping. That's what the pimping is gonna encourage in a bitch. You dig? But all this old holding the bitch hostage and all that old type of shit, man, pimping don't do that. Pimping is gonna send the bitch. You know what I mean? And all of that shit kind of goes together. The same dudes that be falling in love with the bitch pussy, be the same dudes that be trying to keep the bitch trapped in the end call, be the same dudes that get mad and start calling pimping and disrespecting pimping if pimping send the bitch a text message. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna send her outside, and that's a part of the reason why you ain't gonna send her outside. Because you think that bitch safe in the end call from the pimping. And that shit always been weird to me, man. Like, it's sad because there's some dudes in the game who I've had respect for that have spoken against pimps texting a hoe. And I don't know, like me, I never been that dude. I ain't never been that type of dude to try to tell the next man how to campaign, try to tell the next man how to knock a hoe and all this, that, and the third. As long as he ain't doing no dirty macking, he ain't doing no smoke and mirrors type shit, no underhanded shit. He doing some respectable pimping, respectful pimping. Hey man, have at the bitch. It's on the bitch to stay in pocket though. And like I said, them same dudes to be falling in love with the pussy be the same dudes trying to keep the bitch locked away in the end call, be the same dudes getting mad at the pimper for texting the bitch. But this is the thing, hoes get sweated. And see, if you had the mindset of a pimp that hoes got the right to choose, hoes get sweated, you wouldn't be tripping off of what this bitch is doing. You wouldn't be tripping off of what the pimping is doing. But because you in love with this bitch's pussy and you trying to keep her away from the pimping locked in the room and pivot text the bitch, you get mad. Hey man, let the pimping do his job. How about you, like and a lot of y'all done seen my video, the art of staying in pocket. How about you teach that bitch how to stay in pocket? It's on the bitch to stay in pocket. You know what I mean? See, anybody who really know me knows that I ain't never been no big internet dude. I've never been one of them guys that exclusively plays the net, but I have played the net and I've had some success on the net. I done checked some real cool money on the internet. And I've had situations where, a dude texting the shit out the bitch. I ain't, first of all, I've never called a pimp and told him to stop sweating my bitch. I ain't never told a pimp stop sweating my bitch, period. Even if he's doing it in a fashion that I wouldn't do it. Even if he dirty macking me, whatever he doing, whatever he's saying, that's on him. But I have never stopped a dude from sweating my bitch, whether it's via text message, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the track, in the casino, wherever. I've never, ever, ever, ever gotten in the way of a pimp trying to sweat my hoe. And I'd have had motherfuckers sweat my bitch in front of me. I'd have had my partners who didn't realize that that was my bitch sweat my bitch in front of me. I still have never stopped a pimp from sweating my bitch. Never. Never, ever. So that shit has always been weird to me when motherfuckers get mad at somebody texting a bitch and they say weird shit like, "Oh man, this phone line is for the trick, man. This ain't for the pimping. This line is for the trick." Come on, man. The track is for the trick too. But you can't tell no pimp to get off the track and stop sweating hoes because this track is for the trick. Come on, man. That should sound crazy. You did? But that be them same dudes. And them same dudes that get mad at the pimping for texting their bitch is the same dude that if they ever do sit a bitch on the track, they monitoring the bitch's every movement and they trying to police the pimping when the pimping get on their bitch's heels. Let her work, P. Let her work, man. Let me get some money around here, P. Damn, P, you stopping my money, man. You slowing my money down. How am I slowing your money down? I'm not your hoe. It's on the bitch to have quick feet. How am I slowing your money down? I ain't touched this bitch. I ain't got in the way. If I see her talking to a trick, I'ma lean back like Fat Joe. How am I slowing your money down? Maybe you need to teach the bitch how to stay in pocket, and maybe the bitch is so preoccupied with what I'm saying, she not thinking about no motherfucking money because she's so mesmerized and caught up by this motherfucking pimping, man. Don't be scared to get knocked. It's okay, man. Happened to the best of us. I done been knocked before. You dig? And I'm a motherfucker. I'm a cold motherfucker. And I have been knocked before. You dig? I have received that phone call. So don't be scared of that, man. Don't be scared of that. It's cool. But like I say, man, the bottom line is all this protecting the bitch from getting sweated, all this keeping the bitch hostage and all that type of shit, man. And it's sad because I know and see a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna keep it real. It's probably motherfuckers watching right now. It's probably somebody, and if they ain't watching, they're gonna see this video later on that is really that guy. And I'm here to tell you, man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with this pimping. And not only does it have nothing to do with this pimping, but that shit is gonna land you in the motherfucking penitentiary. You're gonna fuck around and be locked up if you continue moving like that. And if you haven't already caught a case and you haven't been locked up, it's a blessing. God really been on your side. He been sparing you because you really playing with fire. And it's a miracle that you ain't been burned by playing with that shit at this point. But you keep on playing with it, and it's gonna fuck around and happen, man. Pimping is about finesse. Pimping is about intelligence, man. You know, pimping is an exceptional thing, man. It's a beautiful sport, and it's not something that just anybody can do. I know the shit look easy, you did, but it's not something that just anybody can do. It might look easy to some people to play the guitar, but not anybody could just pick that motherfucker up and do their thing. It might look easy to play the piano. That's not something that just anybody can do. And the pimping is even more exceptional than all that shit combined. You know what I mean? Again, it might look easy, but this ain't something that just anybody can do. And if you moving like that, 9 times out of 10, man, this really ain't the lifestyle for you. You know, and motherfucker won't look down on you if you change it up to something else. And even if they do look down on you, don't even sweat what they talking about. Or, you know, somebody gonna have an opinion on you bad, no matter if you're the most perfect person walking the earth. Somebody's gonna have something to say about you. You can't please everybody. So don't worry about what motherfucker think about you, man. But this game ain't really for everybody, man. And that's why, you know, these laws are so fucked up, like I said, because you got a lot of motherfuckers that ain't got no business in this shit. This in this shit. And I don't like the terminology of human trafficking, but by the definition of that shit, a lot of motherfuckers that call themselves pimps is actually doing some of that. You know, like I said, I don't like using that terminology, but if you look at the definition, you know what I mean, force, coercion, intimidation, manipulation, all that type of shit, you know, that's what a lot of dudes is doing. You know what I mean? And to be real with you, once upon a time, you could do that type of shit and get away with it. You know? And also being real, you got cats like that once upon a time was being well respected in the game because they was having money and doing their thing, but that's how they was moving. But nonetheless, they was still having respect in the game. But in 2019, that shit ain't wise, man. You know, technology is so different. Uh, you know, the whole world is under surveillance. Everything is being recorded. And then not just that, but people don't realize it. People don't think about it. But social media has trained people to be snitches. If you're not somebody who is deeply embedded in you, is deeply ingrained in you to have nothing to do with snitching and have nothing to do with snitches, then you won't be affected by the social engineering that takes place on social media. But if you just like a regular motherfucker, you don't have no, like, you hear, oh, snitching ain't cool. You hear that, but you don't really have a deep understanding why it's not cool. You just hear that type of shit. If you one of them type of people, 9 times out of 10, you cool with snitching. You know what I mean? It'd be so many times where on social media, you know, they might mention a case about somebody, and motherfuckers would be in the comment section, be some of the coldest detectives in the world. Y'all make, and police have even said this shit on interviews and things like that, like, oh man, you know, social media has made our job so easy. Motherfuckers really be telling without even realizing that they telling. Like, motherfuckers be such cold detectives. Like, prime example, when X got killed, right? When Triple X got killed last year. Uh it was so many people like, oh, the boy, I forget the little dude's name, who at first they were saying had killed X, but come to find out he didn't have nothing to do with it. He a rapper too out of Florida, but everybody was like, oh, the killers had a red mask on, and such. They was tagging the boy and everything. Such and such, he had a red mask on. At the time, he was around the corner when the murder took place, and then he over here with the red mask on and woo 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 woo. Like, come on, man. Like, damn. I'm just fortunate that I'm cut from a different cloth because even if I knew something like that, I'm not gonna be on social media in the comment section saying things like that. You know what I mean? And that shit happens all the time. Motherfuckers on social media is like some of the coldest detectives, and y'all doing this shit for free. You're gonna be a detective, man. Just go sign up with the police force. You know what I mean? Go through the academy and go through the channels and become a detective, man. If that's what you really want to do, but don't just be on social media like doing the shit for free. But or don't be on social media portraying yourself to be a street motherfucker like a lot of people do, and you playing detective at the same time. But nonetheless, I say all that to say the climate that we're in right now has made the majority of people comfortable with snitching. Right? It's just the truth. The majority of people are comfortable snitching now. And the majority of motherfuckers just can't handle pressure. If they face to face with law enforcement, uh, they gonna do the 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? Motherfucker like 6ix9ine, he was the toughest, hardest motherfucker on the internet. Test my gangster, suck my dick, all this old shit. You know what I mean? Hardest motherfucker. You know what I mean? Talking all of this shit. Blood, 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 blood. But when that motherfucking pressure came on his ass, he folded quick to the motherfucker like a lawn chair. You know what I mean? All that tough guy shit went out the window, and that's the majority of motherfuckers in the world right now. The majority of people that's on the internet talking all that tough guy shit, they're gonna do the same thing. And you might actually be somewhat about that life. It actually might be a motherfucker that is a killer and a gangster. Hold on. You know, even the motherfuckers that's really in the streets shooting and killing people and all that type of shit, even them motherfuckers when they face to face with law enforcement, they is not nearly as tough no more. See me, I'm not no killer or nothing like that. I'm not no gunner. I'm not no tough guy. I really don't like to fight. I will if I have to. Uh, I'm not no bitch, but I'm not no tough guy at all. I'm nobody's gangster. I'm nobody's tough guy. I'm not none of that, right? But when I was in the interrogation room and then people was telling me that if I didn't tell on my homeboys, I was looking at, X and X amount of years, and I'm a young 22-year-old kid at the time that ain't never been in trouble for real, ain't never did no time. Uh, I was just cut from a different cloth. You can't make me tell on my homeboys about nothing. You could be talking about the death penalty, electric chair, gas chamber, lethal injection, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not telling on my niggas at all. And it's beyond the fact that, because, all of us had the same, they did all of us like that, and we all stayed solid, right? But it's beyond just my loyalty to my homeboys. It's just my integrity. It's just what I stand for. Even if they wasn't my homeboys, even if I catch a case right now with some strangers, right? I might be at a grocery store or a club or something, and some shit go down, motherfuckers get killed or whatever, and they just pick me and three other motherfuckers up, and don't none of us know each other, but they saying that we did X, Y, Z or whatever. You know what I mean? Them niggas all might tell on me. They all might say, "Oh yeah, we seen him. He did woo woo woo. He had the gun, and we seen him shoot woo." They all could do that to me, and these motherfuckers that I do not know. I'm not gonna do that to them because my integrity I'm just and people might look at me crazy like, damn, Freeze, you crazy for thinking like that. My integrity just won't allow me to do that. That's just some less than manly shit. It's some cowardly shit. It's some punk shit, and that's just the way I see it. I just can't do that type of shit. And Another big reason why is because I have a certain outlook when it comes to law enforcement. I know what they about. I got my mind made up on what they about, what they stand for, and I can never help the police do their job. Whether it's against a stranger, whether it's against my homeboy, whether it's against an enemy of mine, motherfucker could have tried to kill me. I'm still not gonna help the police do their job. Never. I do not know how to do that. I don't want to know how to do that. I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna help the police do their job because I know they don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about the motherfucker who I might be helping them, who they want me to help them do their job against. They don't give a fuck about none of us. You know what I mean? And then the cold part about it, they're not gonna do that shit themselves. New child, good looking with the 20. You dig? Put some more love in your body with this. Dig that for sure. I got you. But um, the police don't even respect snitches. That's what a lot of y'all don't even know. But they be having a lot of y'all so scared and so shook because you don't stand for nothing and you just can't handle no pressure. But you motherfuckers don't even know. Like, you motherfuckers who be like, if you get in a situation, you'll be ready to snitch. Police don't even respect you. They got more respect for a motherfucker to keep it solid. They might look at them crazy too if they take, a bunch of years and all that type of shit. And they might not never voice it to nobody, but deep down inside, even the police got admiration for real motherfuckers that keep it solid because they know it's rare. It's rare that they get a motherfucker in that interrogation room and they tell them like, look, man, you looking at 400 years, man, if you don't cooperate with us. Motherfucker like, run it. You know what I mean? Run that. Y'all ain't getting nothing out of me. Run it. The police, they admire that type of shit. Whether they might not never tell nobody, but deep down inside, they admire that type of shit. They're like, damn, this is a real motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? He gonna do some real ass time, but at the same time, they admire it and they ain't got no respect for snitches. Cause they not snitches. The police ain't even gonna tell on each other. They get in trouble too sometimes. Police catch cases and all that type of shit too. Not as often as civilians, but police catch cases too. And they try to, internal affairs or whoever, they try to, district attorneys or whatever, they try to get police to turn on each other too. Because really, that shit ain't nothing but a gang neither. But one thing about the gang that they call the police that I respect, you know what I mean? I don't respect nothing else about their motherfucking ass, but I got to keep it real. I can respect the fact that they know how to keep their mouth shut, the majority of them. You got bad apples in every bunch. So you got certain police that'll tell on each other too. But the majority of the motherfuckers, they not telling nothing. They not telling nothing. The police is like that. So if they kind of, it's not the street code because they not in the streets, they not part of the street life, but uh, the blue code or whatever they want to call that shit, the code among law enforcement, they code is they not snitching on nobody about nothing. And if you are one of them type of motherfuckers, they gonna get you up out of there. They gonna figure out a way to get you up out of there. You dig? So the bottom line is police don't respect snitches, but nonetheless, motherfuckers is gonna tell. We just in them kind of times. The world is under surveillance. There's cameras everywhere. You know what I mean? Social media that made it where, everybody want clout. So if something is happening, a crime is taking place or whatever, first thing everybody gonna do is pull their phone out because they want to be the motherfucker that recorded the shit and posted it on social media. You dig? And that's all helping the police do their job in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? It might be a shootout or something. Motherfuckers is gonna record that shit and put it on social media. And the motherfuckers in the shootout, they might end up in jail behind that fucking video. So that's just the times that we live in, man. Social media has really made it where people are inclined to help the police do their job. So I say all of that to say, if you call yourself some pimping or whatever you want to call yourself, but if you in the game and you got a bitch going to get some money from a trick and she bringing it back to you, and you one of them type of motherfuckers that keep a bitch locked away in a room on Gilligan's Island, and you won't let the bitch go nowhere, and you monitoring the bitch's phone, the bitch just feel like she can't do nothing. She feeling trapped, you know what I mean? Bitch ain't even got no breathing room. Uh, if you one of them type of dudes, man, you really setting yourself up. This ain't the time for you to, these times that we in, you're not gonna get away with that too long. You're not gonna last long like that. These are some fucked up times that we in, man. And of course, I don't condone no shit like that, but nonetheless, you know, teach their own. Everybody do what they do, but it's just not wise to move like that in today's times. It is not wise, man. Excuse a pimp while I take a quick love break. You know what I mean? Take a sip of love in my body. And if you haven't wiped your feet off at a pimp's door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, and what I mean by that is hitting that like button, man. Go ahead, step back, wipe your feet off at the door, hit that like button for a pimp one time, you dig? And put some love in your body with me, you dig? Mm, mm, mm. Shit, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh yeah, I seen that. I saw that post right before I went live. Like Helena says, y'all make sure to hop onto Dre, which is Andre Taylor, Dre's channel, and congratulate him for the Citizen of the Year award from the National Association of Social Workers he received tonight. Yeah, man, that's a big deal, man. Dre is over there doing some powerful things, man. And he's the most vivid example that we have right now that no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is, man, you can redeem yourself and you can do some amazing things, you know, if you determined enough and you got the power of God in you. Dre is like I said, he's the most vivid example that we have of that right now. So yeah, I encourage y'all as well to go to Andre Taylor's, excuse me, go to his channel, Andre Taylor, and go to that video, man, and hit the like button on that thing. Hit the subscribe and the bell while you at it if you haven't already. And get in the comment section and congratulate that man because he's doing some amazing things. And the amazing things that he's doing is it's got a big impact on the community. It's affected all of us in a positive way. So y'all go ahead and get that man, congrats one time. Tip your hat to him. You did. Made me tear up. Rest in power to our beloved Shay T. Yeah, it was a sad situation, man. But it's sad what motivated things to take place the way that they have. But Dre has really saw to it that his brother's death wasn't in vain, and that's a beautiful thing, man. Like Sinful. If y'all seen, I think it was yesterday, Sinful had made a post, or it might have been this morning. But he made a post and he spoke on a situation where a gentleman in the game, he was living lavishly, having it his way, living on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, a few doors down from Oprah. He was pretty much one of Oprah's neighbors. And a situation took place where one of his hoes got killed by a trick. And because he was in his emotions. He emotionally reacted, as Sinful would say. He called the police, and when the police came and they seen where he was living and how he was living, they want they wanted to investigate the situation to see like, damn, what's going on with this? And they come to find out that that his hoe who got killed was had prostitution priors, so that moved them to dig into his situation, and he ended up doing years in the penitentiary. And because he wasn't born in the U.S., he ended up getting deported after he did them years in the penitentiary. So imagine that motherfucker do years in the pen and then get deported, and you know your hoe's death was pretty much in vain. You didn't really get to honor her in any way, and on top of that, you can't come back to the country, and you lost years out of your life as well as everything that you pimped up for. So he compared that to Dre. Dre went through a tragic situation as well where he lost his brother, but the loss of his brother, it didn't allow he didn't allow himself to emotionally react. He mentally responded to the situation, as Sinful would say, and the result of that is, you know, new laws on police accountability, and like Helena mentioned, him being honored as the citizen of the year. So yeah, like I said, Dre, he's just a cold example, man, and it's other things that he's overcome as well. He's just overcome so much, man, and he uses those types of adversities as opportunity. He turns those adversities into opportunities to to show you the power of God and the power of determination and focus, man. So it's just a beautiful thing what he's doing. But yeah, back to the subject at hand, man. Motherfuckers harboring these bitches and keeping these bitches captive and holding hoes hostage and all that type of shit, man. Hey, it will not kill you to let that bitch go outside, man, and do some hoeing. And while she's outside doing some hoeing, it will not kill you if the bitch get knocked. If some pimping come up with the bitch, it's not gonna kill you, man. And honestly, if you remain in the game and stay down and persevere, it's really gonna make you stronger. Cause that's really the moment of truth, man. That's the real moment of truth in this pimping. That's really gonna let you know what type of individual it is when he get knocked. When he get knocked for that bitch. When a motherfucker get knocked for that bitch, how they handle that situation, that's gonna really let you know what type of individual that is. And see, a lot of motherfuckers just, and it's funny to me because you got a lot of dudes that brag about the fact that they ain't never been knocked. Oh man, I ain't never been knocked for a bitch, man. Woo woo woo. Ain't no nigga ever served me, man, for a bitch. Woo woo. If that's true, then that's cool. But a lot of dudes be bragging about never being knocked for a bitch, but at the same time, what they not telling you is they ain't never did no pimping neither. Because if you the type of dude that keep bitches in the internet on the internet and locked away in a room, and she ain't never in the fire, she ain't never face to face getting sweated by pimps, she ain't ever been down that motherfucking track, getting chased by pit bulls, you know what I mean? Dealing with gangbangers and crazy tricks and all that type of shit and getting sweated by the pimping, you know what I mean? Police flashing lights on her, hey bitch, get out of here before we take you to jail. And the bitch still staying down. She hiding behind cars, you know what I mean, ducking away from the police, still getting that tricks and catching dates, you know what I mean? And when they done told this bitch to leave, hey man, if a bitch ain't dealing with all that type of shit, man, you can't really brag too much about what pimping you done did, man. If the bitch ain't really been in the fire and she ain't ever really faced no pressure, you can't really brag about all this pimping that you done did. But you got dudes like that, like I said, who keep that their whole career in the bitch whole career. She always been inside. She ain't never been down nowhere. Only time a pimp might see her is in the top of the morning when it's checkout time. She going to pay for a room for another day. Other than that, you know what I mean? Or pimp might catch her at the motherfucking AM PM that's next to the hotel getting a hot dog or some shit like that. But other than that, you know what I mean? The bitch ain't down. She ain't outside nowhere. And she hasn't never really been truly sweated by the pimping. If the bitch ain't never truly been sweated by the pimping, like me, I don't respect that. Oh, I ain't been knocked and all that old type of shit. Okay, who sweated your bitch? You know what I mean? Are you the type of motherfucker that could sit there, like I said, and your partner is sweating your bitch, and he don't realize that this is your bitch and this is your partner who you really fuck with, and he's sitting there sweating your hoe in front of you, and you just sit back and let him do his job, let him do his thing. You know what I mean? And you not, hold on, P, that's my bitch. Are you one of them type of motherfuckers? If you one of them type of motherfuckers and you bragging about how you ain't never been knocked, you know what I mean? I could tip my hat to you. I could clap it up for you. You know what I mean? But if you a motherfucker that's holding the bitch hostage and you harboring the bitch, you know what I mean? You won't let her outside. You know what I mean? The bitch pale as a motherfucker because she ain't seen the sunlight in 100 days and all that old type of shit. I'm like me. I'm not trying to hear nothing about how you ain't never been knocked, man. That shit, it sound good, but hey, that's all it. That's all it do. The shit just sound good, man. But you know, oh, and another thing, you know, the motherfuckers that be fucking with the services, they the same type of way. You know what I mean? Motherfucker who fuck with that service, and that's the bitch whole career. She ain't never even been on the internet before. She ain't never posted an ad. She ain't never been on the carpet in the casino. She ain't never been on the track. She ain't even been in the strip club. All she never did is fuck with the service. You know what I mean? Uh how you gonna sweat a bitch like that? And you got dudes like that who brag about, you know, oh man, I ain't never been knocked. I've been in the game for woo woo woo, and I ain't never been knocked. When did somebody sweat your bitch? When did somebody even see your bitch? You know what I mean? Cause see, you know, I love the pimping, man. I really love the pimping because them type of dudes, I really like seeing them type of niggas get knocked. You know what I mean? I really take joy, put a smile on my face to see them type of niggas get knocked, or to see them type of niggas because you got them type of niggas who they might do shit like I said, you got them dudes who they hoes don't really be down. Uh all they play is the internet or the service or whatever, and you catch them type of dudes in the club, you know what I mean, like a regular nightclub, they celebrating with their bitches or whatever. I just like them type of situations, man, where the pimp just come out of nowhere and it's like five pimps and they sitting there, they at the VIP, they trying to drink their drinks and everything, and pimping ain't even letting them enjoy their motherfucking night at the club because they all in the bitch ear. Yeah, bitch. You know what I mean? Some pimping in your motherfucking ear, bitch, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, bitch. Ooh, ooh, just pressing on the bitch and and pimping just sitting there, you know, they folks, he just sitting there like not knowing what to do. You know what I mean? I just love them type of situations, you know what I mean? Or, you know, motherfucker might pull up on the track with these bitches that they ain't never set down. They got the bitch in the car, and you pull up where all the pimps is at. Know what I mean? The pimps just in the motherfucker, in your face, sweating your hoes in front of you. Know what I mean? All in the motherfucking car window, like, yeah, bitch. You know what I mean? You need to be out here where all the real hoes is at. Know what I mean? You need to come out here and play with the big girls, bitch. You know what I mean? Sitting all in that motherfucking room. You know, I just love them type of situations, man. Putting the pressure on the bitch in front of her. Fuck, we don't care if that nigga right here. You know what I mean? We gonna still sweat the fuck out these hoes. You know what I mean? I just love them type of situations, man. I just love the pimping, man. You know what I mean? And that shit put a smile on my face. You know, even when motherfuckers sweat my hoes in front of me. New child, once again, good looking. Whole Foods played on me. Freeze, good looking. I dig that. I'm gonna definitely go fuck with Whole Foods. Faux show. And Taj, once again, good looking with the 1999. Yeah, but um, Yeah, I just love this game, man. And like I said, them type of dudes who be bragging about the fact they ain't never been knocked, but they ain't set a bitch down nowhere neither. Hey, man, save that one. It sound good to the broad maybe, but not to the pimping. Gimme Mo says you seem religious. How does that correlate with pimping? Well, first of all, I think I know what you mean by religious, and when it comes to spirituality, I don't really, me personally, I don't prefer the term religious. So I don't really use that term in reference to spirituality. Uh, I have spiritual beliefs. Uh, I believe in the Most High, but I wouldn't say I'm a religious person when it comes to spirituality or the Most High or anything like that. Now, see, like my idea of being religious, like this love, you know what I mean, putting this love in my body, I do that. I'm religious when it comes to this, or when it comes to working out, I'm religious when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Bringing the best out of a bitch, you know what I mean? I'm religious when it comes to that. So when it comes to my pimping, you know what I mean? The acts of the pimping, you know, the things that pimps do, I'm religious with that. You know what I mean? Talking to hoes, lacing hoes, giving game to bitches, you know what I mean? Things like that. I'm religious. I do that religiously. So uh, if you want to say that that's religious, hey, so be it. But I don't really like as far as religion. Yeah, I don't have a particular religion. Excuse me. I just have spiritual beliefs, and yeah, I pimp religiously. Jesse, the gentleman, say you need to be endorsed by a bottled water company. Yeah, man. You know I ain't gonna speak too much, but yeah, man. I got some brain children, man. That I'm gonna nurture and bring to fruition in due time. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I'll take some water endorsements, man. I know I'd have made water sales for somebody go up. Probably not by a whole lot, but I'd have made them go up. You know, I'd have encouraged a whole lot of people to drink water for sure. But yeah, once again, back to the subject at hand, man. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you have a true understanding of this game, man. And a lot of people, like I say all the time, that's one thing that social media has done too. Social media has made people real big on results. You know, people be so focused on results that they don't think about the process and how the process affects the results, right? Um, People might know certain things about the process and they pick and choose certain things, and they might end up with similar results as the pimping, but just because you pick and chose certain things about the process don't mean you actually did some pimping. You know, like you might see the pimping in a certain house with a certain car and some jewelry on, and he count money, and all you know is that he's saying that he pimped for it, and he got some bitches. That's all you know about the game is that, or his process is that he got some bitches and he did it with some bitches. So you go get some bitches and you start getting some money, and before you know it, you got a decent house and a decent car, and you got some jewelry too, and you count some money too, and you did it with bitches, but your process and his process might be completely different. And your process might not, you might not be able to sustain the success like he does because he's pimping for it. And you don't know what type of falls he done took. You don't know what type of ups and downs he done been through, doing things honestly in the game to get where he is. And a lot of y'all try to Barry Sanders your way around the ups and downs in the game or the downs in the game. Try to stick with only the ups. A lot of people don't like to promote the fucked up parts about their process, but that's what builds us and makes us who we are. So, um, like I said, that's one thing about social media is that it promotes the results of things and not the process of shit, man. But if you're gonna be in this game, you really got to understand the process of of the success that the pimping has. You got to understand the things that the pimping go through, man, and you got to understand that there is fundamentals to this game, and a lot of things that motherfuckers do ain't got nothing to do with the fundamentals of this game. And like I say, harboring a bitch, keeping a bitch in the room, that type of shit don't have nothing to do with this game. You know, like I said, pimping is confidence. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen a pimp who wasn't confident. But I done seen some motherfuckers who ain't confident, who got low self-esteem, get some money from a bitch. Seen a whole lot of them type of motherfuckers actually. And it's funny because as I grow in the game and get older and gain more wisdom and understanding about not just the game but just life period, I've come to understand that a whole lot of motherfuckers with low self-esteem get money from bitches every motherfucking day. A lot of insecure ass niggas, a lot of low self-esteem motherfuckers, a lot of motherfuckers who ain't got an ounce of confidence to save their life get money from bitches every day. And they really shouldn't. They really don't deserve, to be able to say that they doing that, but it's the truth. It's really the truth. You know what I mean? And if you are the type of individual who is keeping the bitch locked away in a room, you don't have no confidence in yourself. You don't have no confidence in your game. You ain't got no confidence in your pimping. You ain't got no confidence in yourself as a man. You scared that this bitch is gonna run off. You scared that the bitch gonna see something better than you and want to get away from you. So you trying to keep the bitch hidden. You trying to keep the bitch sheltered away from everything. You don't want her to see nothing in the world because you think if she do, know what I mean, she gonna get out on you. But like I said, the pimping is just different. Pimping got confidence. That's why I could sit there and let motherfuckers sweat my bitch in front of me because I'm not worried about what they saying because I know I'm the truth. I know why this bitch supposed to be fucking with me. And if she don't want to fuck with me, that's her loss. You did? And despite whoever's loss it is, bitch, if you want to go ahead and go. Just fuck with some pimping. If you don't do nothing else, choose some pimping, bitch. That's how the pimping operate. That's the pimping's whole outlook is, I'm not tripping off of this bitch leaving. I'm a pimp. Somebody gonna like me. Somebody gonna fuck with me. Somebody gonna be successful with me. Somebody want this game. Somebody want this structure. Somebody want this guidance. Somebody want this wisdom that I got to impart to them. I'm really some pimping. I'm an asset to a bitch. See them dudes who keep a bitch locked away in a room and all that type of shit, they know that they really a liability to the bitch. They like another bill. They like the light bill or the car note or the insurance or like bitch like damn, I gotta pay the light bill this month. I gotta pay my phone bill. I gotta pay my car note, car insurance. I gotta pay rent. I gotta pay this dude, supposed to be a pimp, but he really just another bill. Gotta pay him, gotta feed him. That's how a lot of you niggas is, and you know that. And because you know that, that's why you do that type of shit, like keep bitches, locked away in the room in remote areas and all that type of shit. Won't let a bitch go work the track. You know what I mean? And see, this is another thing that's just sad, man. I really should do a whole separate video on that. But a lot of dudes, man, in the game, they treat white bitches completely different than they treat black bitches. And in the way that it just fucks me up, man. Because that's one thing I didn't mention. Uh, the broad who I was talking about earlier that was on my line, that's dealing with the dude that got her, hidden away in the room and all that type of shit, and won't let her go to the track, won't let her go to the bars or nothing like that. This is a white bitch, and you got dudes, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, that insecurity shit. The motherfuckers who be insecure, a lot of them, it's sad to say, man, and I don't understand the shit, but a lot of dudes be intimidated by white bitches, and along with that intimidation, a lot of dudes, I get like, I don't even like talking like that, but it's the truth. I just gotta call a spade a spade. A lot of dudes feel inferior to white bitches, man. A lot of motherfuckers that call themselves pimps, they feel inferior to white bitches. You know what I mean? Inferior. And me, I don't know how this shit feel. That's why I say I hate even talking like that, but it's the truth. Gotta keep it real. That's really the truth. A lot of dudes in the game feel inferior to white bitches. So them type of dudes that feel inferior to a white bitch, when they get around, or if they just so happen to get up on a white bitch and a white bitch come fucking with them, they don't even know how to maintain this bitch because they feel like they don't deserve this bitch. And when they feel like they don't deserve this bitch, like, they don't know how to maintain her. So the only thing they know how to do is like, you know what I mean? they gonna put the bitch in a headlock, you know, not knowing that the best headlock you could put the bitch in is with some pimping. You know what I mean? The pimping really gonna have the bitch in a headlock if you pimping accordingly. You know what I mean? If you pimping accordingly to the bitch, or if you pimping accordingly on the bitch, she ain't gonna want to go nowhere. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers don't know how to maintain a bitch with some pimping. But like I said, when you insecure, when you ain't got no confidence, when you feeling inferior to this bitch, that's what makes motherfuckers do that type of shit. It'd be the same type of dudes that, like, they might have a gorgeous white bitch and they don't even they think, because this is how a lot of motherfuckers in the game think, right? It's sad too. A lot of motherfuckers in the game think that when you got a white bitch, and it is the case with a lot of bitches, not just white bitches, but we just talking about white bitches right now. So you got a lot of white bitches that have only played the internet. They don't want to go to the track. They think they too good for the track. You know what I mean? Like I talked about on the other live the other day, they think the track is a downgrade. You have a lot of white bitches like that, right? So because of that, you got a lot of these dudes that promote the same thing, but they only saying that type of shit because they think that's what these white bitches want to hear. So um, they say that type of shit, and when they get one of these type of white bitches with that mentality of the track is a downgrade, he might be the type of dude that keep bitches on the track, but he don't be having white bitches though. So when he got a white bitch, you know what I mean, and his program might be the track, or the track might be a part of his program. When he get this white bitch who's anti the track, he's really choosing her program. He's not making the bitch inclined to choose his program. So he gonna get with her program, and if she's an internet bitch, he's gonna allow her to remain an internet bitch, even though he really might have some game for the bitch that's bigger and better than the internet. Like, look, bitch, you know what I mean? If you get with my program, we gonna kill this internet shit like that. That we gonna blow that out the water. If you just come fuck with me and follow my program, but because he's afraid that he might run the bitch off if he try to get her to fuck with his program. He gonna accept her little program. He gonna accept her little internet money, and just because she's a gorgeous white bitch, you know what I mean? For the for the bragging rights or whatever the case may be, he gonna maintain this bitch, even though she's not with his program. He's with her program, so on and so forth, man. And you got dudes like that, right? Who think like this, and it's crazy. Them same dudes who think like that, right? Not I'm not talking about the dude that who normally plays the track, but you got dudes basically, man, who will have a gorgeous white bitch who might want to go to the track because they do exist. A lot of people don't think that they do exist, but you have some gorgeous ass white bitches who are actually hoes who like to go to the motherfucking track and stay down and run it up, right? But you got dudes who will get a bitch like that and try to discourage her from that. Who will try to put it in this hoe's mind that the track is a downgrade, not knowing that this is a real hoe. So if she want to go to the track, man, let her go to the track. But once again, if this is one of them insecure dudes who ain't really got no pimping for this bitch, he don't want her to go to the track because she's really too much. She got too much on for him. She's really too much for him. You know what I mean? And he feels inferior to her. And he really can't even understand, like, damn, this bitch look like a fucking supermodel. Like, why does she want to go to the track? I wouldn't even put this bitch on the track. Who in the fuck was putting this bitch on the track? She's too good for the track. That's how a lot of these motherfucking dudes think. You know what I mean? They be feeling inferior to these bitches. And I know because I've had certain bitches that motherfuckers, like I said before, looked at me crazy for putting this bitch on the track. Like, P, why is you putting her on that track, man? Like, why is you setting her down over here? P, you could be doing woo 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 whoop over here. Well, hey man, I would, I'm doing some pimping. Maybe you don't have no understanding, no comprehension. Maybe you don't understand what's going on, man. But I'm like me, I know what I'm doing and I'm pimping. You know what I mean? I don't know what you be doing, and I don't know what type of bitches you be having that's too good for the track. You know what I mean? More power to you, because I didn't even know them type of bitches existed. You know what I mean? Bitches is too good for the track. But if you got them, hey, more power to you. You doing some amazing shit because I didn't even know them type of bitches was around. But more power to you. But me, this bitch right here, she ain't too good for the track. And you about to see how she ain't too good for the track in just a minute. You know what I mean? You about to see, matter of fact, this bitch is perfect for the track. You know what I mean? That's how I operate. But like I said, you got certain dudes, and that's what I think the situation is with this dude, like about the bitch that I'm talking about. Cause she's a white girl and she's a very pretty white girl. And uh to my understanding, she ain't never been on the track. But um the dude who she's fucking with, he probably ain't never even put a bitch on the track. I don't even really think he really know pimping like that. But um she did try to go to, because I don't think it's a track in the area where she is. You know what I mean? Or if it is, she probably ain't familiar with it, but she knows that it's a downtown over there, and that downtown got some hotels and some bars and some shit like that. You know what I mean? And she wanted to go out, but he wouldn't even let the bitch go out. And the bitch, she be having some slow ass days on that internet sometimes. Bitch might go hit for something very cool out there outside at them bars or at them hotels or whatever the case may be in her area. She might go up in there and hit for something that you ain't ever even got before. She might come back with some hell of a money. You know what I mean? But because you know this bitch is too much for you, and you know you really ain't got no business with this bitch. You don't even know how you ended up with this bitch, but you just glad that you have ended up with this bitch, and you doing everything in your power to harbor this bitch for as long as you can. And you really like the bitch's pussy more than you like her money. Because of these reasons, you're not gonna send the bitch outside. And that's what a lot of these dudes is doing, man. Shit crazy. But like I said, not everything is pimping. And that shit right there, that's not no pimping. Pimp ain't scared to send the bitch. You know, I've never been scared of a motherfucker sweating my bitch. I don't even know what that shit feel like. So, like I said, when I've been in situations where, because like I said, I've played the internet, I've gotten some cool money on the internet, and when I've been in them situations where a motherfucker is texting my bitch 10, 20, 30 messages and all that type of shit, uh, a bitch who's really fucking with me, she already knows like before it even really get to that point, just block him. All you gotta do is block him. How hard is it to teach a bitch to hit the block button? That's some free game for you. You know what I mean? Instead of telling the pimpin' not to call the bitch and not to text the bitch, just teach the bitch to block his ass. If he won't leave her alone, bitch, block him. How hard is that? But see, it makes you feel like that dude, you know what I mean? Because, oh, he ain't gonna sweat my woman. I'm gonna tell him something. I'm gonna tell him a thing or two, you know. And I guess you know certain bitches that make their pussy wet because you standing up for them, so they think, or whatever the case may be. And it might make you feel good because you feel like you standing up for your woman and all that. But that, you know, that's not pimping. You can't call that pimping. Don't call that pimping. You know what I mean? Pimps don't protect bitches like that. Pimp might protect a bitch from a dangerous situation, but pimp ain't gonna protect a bitch from pimping. That's not what we do. So, you know, like I said, me, when I've been in them situations where a motherfucker is just nonstop calling my bitch or nonstop texting my bitch, a bitch of mine already know. Bitch, just block them. All you gotta do is block them. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, a bitch who been fucking with me, it only take one time to tell her that. She might not really know that part of my program. You know, certain things you learn as you go through it. So a bitch might not have never been in that situation since she been with me. But when that situation arises and she tell me like, hey, this guy, he keep on texting me, he won't stay off my line. Simple solution, bitch. Block his motherfucking ass. Damn, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, bitch, you know, I'm always thinking the shit that you didn't think about, bitch. That's why you fucking with me. You know what I mean? That's why you need some pimping in your life, because pimping is always thinking about shit that you ain't thinking about, bitch. Simple. That's like the simplest thing. But you motherfuckers will rather, you know, try to tell a pimp what to do and try to tell a pimp to stay off the bitch line and all. Man, pimps don't try to tell pimping what to do. And like I said, them be the same dudes that on the rare occasion that they do put a bitch on the track, they trying to, hey P, let her work, man. Let me get some money around here, P. Damn, man, you slowing my money down. That ain't got nothing to do with no pimping. That is not pimping. Pimps do not do that. Pimps don't do that. You know what I mean? And once again, see, pimping is a job. When you're doing some pimping, you're doing a job. Part of a pimp's job is lacing a bitch, teaching a bitch. And part of a pimp's job of lacing and teaching a bitch is lacing her and teaching her how to stay in pocket. How hard is it to teach a bitch what to do when she's being sweated by some pimping? You know, for a pimp, it's like, it's very simple. But a lot of other dudes, like I said, I think they get a kick out of trying to tell a pimp what to do or trying to, letting the pimp know, especially if it's an attractive ass bitch. Oh, P, that's my bitch. Dudes, I guess that makes them feel proud to let motherfuckers know that this is their bitch. I don't know. And maybe it make the bitch pussy wet. Maybe they gonna have better sex because the bitch seen him run up on the pimping and tell the pimping that that's his bitch. Maybe they gonna have better sex after that or something. I don't know. Like, ooh, daddy, I just love the way you checked him. I just love the way when he was on my heel sweat me, you just came and stopped him and said, hey, that's my bitch. Ooh, that just turned me on. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like a freaky thing, a freaky like sexual thing or something. I don't know, man. I just don't understand that shit. Like I never understood it. That's one thing that I like. I've always had that with me from the beginning. When I was green as a motherfucker, first getting in the game, and because like I say, me, I just believed that I was perfectly groomed for the game because of the way that I was raised, the way I came up, and the father that I had. And, you know, when I was a kid, my pops dealt with different women, and I never seen him trip over a bitch. I ain't never seen him get into it with another man over a bitch. I ain't never seen him like, I just never seen Pops trip over a bitch. Like he ain't never been that type of dude. So him that being my strongest influence, I naturally became like that. So when I grow up and I start dealing with different women, I ain't never been a jealous type. Even as a square, I might be at the club and I step away from my broad that I'm at the club with in a square relationship with. And while I'm stepped away, uh, dudes might be trying to holler at her and shit. I ain't never been a jealous type. Or see, like, cause see, I tell you, LA niggas, man, LA niggas is some of the most mannish niggas in the world. And anybody who know LA niggas know that, right? And I done been in situations where I'll be with my girl, you know what I mean? I'm a square, this is my little female, my girlfriend, or what have you, whatever the case may be. And we walking and we obviously together. You know what I mean? We might be at a function somewhere or whatever. Like LA niggas is so motherfucking roguish, they will holler at your bitch in front of you. Like I ain't never really been the holding hands type dude, but I done seen LA niggas, man, like nigga be holding hands with his girl and LA nigga walk up like, damn, baby, you fine as a motherfucker. What's your name? Girl, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? Like LA niggas be so motherfucking managed. They don't give a fuck if you holding hands with the bitch or nothing. If they want to talk to her, they gonna talk to her. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing. LA niggas think they tough, and in their mind, they like, man, I'm finna say something to this bitch. This nigga can't beat my ass, and if he do, I got that thing on me. You know what I mean? So fuck it, man. And you never know, the bitch might like me, cuz on the set. You know what I mean? I'm finna say something to this bitch, man. you know, that's how like a lot of gangbanging niggas from LA. LA niggas is just managed in the motherfucker. So but I've been in them type of situations as a square with my girlfriend, and I had niggas try to talk to the bitch in front of me. Me and the bitch is obviously together. I had niggas try to shoot they shot, and I've never stopped a nigga. I ain't never said, hey, homie, this my girl. Even as a square, I've never done that. Hey, homie, this my girl. I ain't never did that. And I gotta keep it all the way real, man. I got a little story for y'all, right? This ain't as a square. I'm some pimping at this time still. This is while I'm in the game, but I'm kind of young in the game. Let you know I'm kind of young in the game is I was drunk as a motherfucker on this particular night. So obviously, I'm still drinking at the time, but I was super lit. I was drunk off my ass this night, and we was at this club. Me and my partners. I was with some square partners of mine, right? And we was at this club, and we was we was kind of deep. It was probably like 5 or 6 of us or something like that. But we went to the club, we had VIP bottles and shit like that. Matter of fact, let you know this shit is so old. This is when Wale had first came out. Wale had performed at that club. Uh, I forget that song. That first song that Wale had, it was a female little pop singer on the song with him. I forget who it was. But this is before he was with Maybach Music. This is when Wale first came out. Uh, can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, people didn't even really know who Wale was at the time. But, club over with, we leaving. Nah, it's before Flower Bomb. It's way before that. Uh, I'm trying to remember the song. He say something like people think it's well, but my name is Wale. Some shit like that. I can't. That's the only thing I really remember about the song. I can't. If I heard it, I would know it, but or maybe if somebody said the title of it, but it's way before Flower Bomb though. But anyway, we leaving the club. You know what I mean? Chilling. Right. That's what it was. Chilling. It was when that chilling song came out. And like I said, at that time, this when the song first came out, like people didn't even really like while they was performing and nobody was even really paying no attention to him because that's how unknown he was at the time. He wasn't like superstar Wale that he is now. But anyway, we leave in the club, right? I'm drunk as a motherfucker. And everybody else, they leave in different clubs. It's in Hollywood. We in Hollywood, motherfuckers, everybody leaving the club and shit. So it was this big ass nigga. And mind you, this ain't the Freeze that's working out. This the Freeze that's lazy. Like that Freeze that Sinful told you about when Sinful got out the pen, the Freeze that had the gut and the bins and the white girl and all that shit, you know what I mean? This is that Freeze. So I'm over there lightweight with a gut. Right. I kind of was thinking it was Lady Gaga, but I wasn't sure. But you're right. You're right, bro. It was Lady Gaga on there. So we leaving, right? And like I said, I'm drunk, regular built Freeze. This ain't the working out Freeze, you know what I mean? Freeze with a little gut, you know what I mean? A lot smaller than what I am now. I ain't. And it was this big ass, buff ass nigga, right? This nigga like 6'5", swole ass nigga, you know what I mean? Big swole motherfucker. And he walking with a badass bitch, man. This bitch was fine as a motherfucker. And they holding hands. This big swole ass nigga is holding hands with this fine ass bitch, right? I'm the managed LA nigga at this time. I'm so motherfucking drunk. I ain't even paying dude no mind. And I ain't gonna lie, if he was on that, you know what I mean, it was gonna be ugly. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not gonna try to paint it like it is what it ain't or nothing like that. I'm drunk as a motherfucker. I know my jaw is like jello at this time. A little kid could just and knock me the fuck out. That's how drunk I am. And this nigga, from the looks of it, he ain't drunk. But I didn't even pay, like, it was almost like he didn't exist. This bitch was so motherfucking fine. You know what I mean? I'm walking up, I go all in the bitch face, you know what I mean? Damn, baby, you fine as a motherfucker. Man, I don't mean no disrespect, you know what I mean? But damn, baby, you fine as a motherfucker. Like, man, can we talk? What's going on? You know what I mean? I'm so motherfucking drunk and I'm just being disrespectful to this dude. But he must have been a guy like me. You know what I mean? He must have been one of them type of dudes that, he not tripping if somebody talked to his girl. That was fortunate for me because if this nigga would have been trying to fight, he like twice my size. Like I said, this nigga 6'5", swole as a month, like big, tall, swole, like look like the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno type of nigga. You know what I mean? Big as a motherfucker. Like if he would have been trying to fight, it would have been cool. So my homeboys came and got me, right? They like, Freeze, come on, man. Let's go, man. Leave this nigga alone, man. Leave his girl alone, man. And then they was apologizing to dude, too. Because all my niggas, they some little niggas, too. You know what I mean? But they was like, yeah, man, we apologize, man. The homie, he drunk as a motherfucker, man. So they pulled me to the car. And we end up leaving, but the next day, I'm sober now. So next day we was all kicking it and talking about that shit. And they was like, man, my nigga, like, you went and talked to that nigga girl. We thought we was finna have to jump this nigga, man. We was like preparing ourselves mentally, like, man, we hope we don't have to jump this big ass nigga. But my boys had my back though. You know what I mean? If it would have came to that point, they was down. They wasn't gonna leave me on stuck. You know what I mean? So I respected them. I appreciated them for that because they was telling me they was like, man, we was just hoping that this nigga didn't trip, man, because we was finna jump this nigga, man. We don't know how we was gonna get him because that nigga was big as fuck, but we was ready to jump that nigga, man. But we was just hoping. We was hoping that that nigga didn't trip, man. And when he didn't trip, we was glad he didn't trip, man, because that nigga was big as a motherfucker. And he was, man. That nigga was not like, imagine he wasn't just a big nigga, he was tall and big. You know what I mean? This nigga was, like I said, like 6'5" and just swole as a motherfucker. If he would have been, nigga, the fuck you doing talking to my girl, nigga? Don't you see we holding hands, nigga? If he was one of them type of dudes, ooh, it's gonna be ugly. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's just how niggas be in LA, man. Like I've been seeing that shit my whole life in LA. But I say all that to say I've always been that type of dude that even as a square, I dealt with that type of shit. I done been in his shoes, the big swole nigga. I done been in his shoes where I'm walking with my girl and a nigga walk up and try to holler at her in front of me while he know we together. I just ain't never tripped on that type of shit. Right, bro. You was locked up at that time. Cause like I said, this one that Wale song was just out, so yeah, you was definitely locked up at that time. Yeah, I know for sure because I remember the whole situation, what was going on at that time. You definitely was locked up at that time. But yeah, man, that situation was funny. You know what I mean? See, bro, Oz was with me that night. That Oz was the one who was telling me that. He was like, man, we was hoping we'd have to jump this nigga, man. But Oz was there, Smooth was there, and a few other niggas that you don't know. But out of the ones that you do know, Oz was there, Smooth was there. And they was ready. Man. They was ready. You know what I mean? The fuck. But they knew. But like I said, Oz was like, man, we came over there to get you, man, and we was just hoping that this nigga didn't trip, man, because we was ready to jump that nigga, but we didn't want to, man. we didn't want no problems with that big ass nigga, man, because we knew it was gonna be a problem. We knew, like, and it was like I said, it was like we was probably like 4 or 5 deep, you know what I mean? But that's how big this nigga was, man. We like I wasn't tripping because I'm drunk as a motherfucker, and all I seen was this badass bitch. Like I know that the nigga right there, but he's not even in my mind right now because I'm focused on how bad this bitch is. But I seen him, but I didn't see him. But yeah, but I say all that to say, man, I've dealt with things like that as a square, and I never tripped on that type of shit. So it made me perfectly groomed coming into the game. You know what I mean? Coming into the game and understanding, like, hey, man, when pimp sweat your hoe, you don't trip on that type of shit. You let a pimp do his job, you know what I mean? You teach the bitch to stay in pocket, you know what I mean? The best way for a bitch to let pimping know that's sweating her that she's represented by some folks is to stay in pocket. That's the best way for her to communicate that to him. When I came to understand all that in the game, it came natural to me. It wasn't like a growing pain that I had to go through. I didn't really have to adapt to that. That was already in me because of the way I was as a square before I got into the game. That wasn't hard for me. But I just was one of the few people that's blessed coming into the game like that. But not everybody is blessed like that, obviously, man. A lot of motherfuckers is the type of dudes that when they was squares, they was ready to fight. They was on some Plies and T-Pain. Uh, I can't stand to see you treated bad. I beat his ass for my shorty. They was them type of dudes, you know what I mean? I beat his ass. You know what I mean? They gonna beat his ass for they shorty. That's a lot of these dudes that's in the game right now. That's them before they got in the game. They was them type of dudes, and now that they in the game, I can't stand to see you sweat it bad. I beat his ass for my whole week. They gonna beat his ass for they hoey. You dig? Not they shorty, they hoey. They gonna beat his ass, man. That's the type of dudes that we dealing with in the game, man. So yeah, like me, I it just came natural to me. So like I say, that's the moment of truth though. That's what's gonna really let you know what type of individual that you're dealing with, man. You know, when they hoes getting sweated, how they handle that. Anybody could get money from a bitch. That's been proven time and time again. Anybody can, send a bitch to go get some money, and she come back and give it to him. Anybody can do that. That's not hard. But what's obviously hard is for a motherfucker to let his bitch get sweated or get knocked for the bitch. That shit is hard than a motherfucker for niggas, man. Because even like that, like, even as a square, like I said, I had situations where my little girlfriend, cheated on me or whatever. Uh, I didn't really lose no sleep over them type of situations. I'd be alive. I said, because I'm a square at the time, and it's kind of normal in a square life to I might feel some type of way about it. I might kind of feel a little disrespected or something, but I'm not gonna cry about the shit. I ain't never tried to fight no nigga over fucking my bitch as a square. Never that. You know what I mean? I might look at the broad kind of crazy and be upset with her a little bit, but I ain't never like really tripped about that type of shit, like to the point where I'm finna lose sleep or I want to kill this bitch or fight the nigga, and I ain't never been that type of dude. So uh, why she cheat freeze on the real? You know what I mean? I ain't really dealt with a whole lot of situations like that. But she probably cheated 9 times out of 10 because that's what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was moving around, getting down, having fun. You know what I mean? Because again, this is the type of pops that I had. You know what I mean? Pops was a ladies' man when I was growing up. He was really having it his way. He was married for a lot of my childhood, but especially like my teenage years, like when I was in high school, pops wasn't married no more. When I was in high school, and imagine, I'm a young nigga in high school, and I'm living with my pops. It's just me and him at this time. Me and my pops got a bachelor pad together, basically, pretty much, and he doing his thing. He having women in and out on a regular. He having fun. He doing his thing. He a bachelor. You know what I mean? Plus, he had been married for like I want to say like 10 years before that. He probably was doing his thing on the side even then. But now that he not married and he not living with a wife no more, it's just me and him and his son, his teenage son, man, Pop's having fun doing his thing. So, naturally when I grow up and I get out on my own, start doing my thing, you know what I mean? I'm having fun. I'm young, attractive, you know what I mean? Fly. I'm having fun, man. You know what I mean? I had my one broad that was, like my main little, broad, my main squeeze, as they call it, you know what I mean? But I had a whole bunch of them over here having fun. You know what I mean? So it's just for them reasons, man. Like I just ain't never tripped on abroad. I just always understood that it's way too many of them to trip over one, to trip over any of them. It's way too many of them. And, even in the game, see, I can be all the way real, right? I ain't got no problem with the truth. So there's certain hoes that I've had that still to this day, even though they're not with me, I love them and got love for them, right? Um, and when I had him, yeah, I liked him like a motherfucker. And, I got accustomed to him. And, when they left, it wasn't a comfortable thing. When the bitch might have blew up or left or whatever, with certain bitches, it's not a comfortable transition to like you used to having this bitch handle your business every day, especially if she one of them ones that just like catering to you. You know what I mean? She getting your money, she paying the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Sex game is cool. She know how to cook and all this old type of shit, or she just catered to you so well. Whatever you want, you ain't even gotta tell her. She just know. She just do it. You know, when you go from having a bitch like that every day to one day she just ain't there no more and she over there fucking with somebody else doing her thing with them now, that's not a comfortable transition. You know what I mean? I can keep it real about that. But although it's not comfortable, I know that because I'm a pimp, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna continue pimping. I'm not finna stop pimping because this bitch done left. I'm gonna continue pimping. It's other hoes that like my pimping, want my pimping, gonna do what's necessary to have my pimping. So I'm not gonna trip on this bitch. I love her, I miss her, but I'm not gonna like life goes on. I'm not on trip. I'm not finna go try to fight the nigga or nothing like that. You know what I mean? If he called me and served me about the bitch, I'm gonna give him the whole facts. You know what I mean? Oh man, you got a good one on your hands, man. You know, you really came up this time, P. You know, she she the type that she might woo woo woo. I'm gonna give him the good and the bad. You know what I mean? You might have to watch her when it comes to this. You know what I mean? But as long as you woo woo woo, you good, man. She gonna handle your business. She not the jealous type. You ain't gotta worry about her getting into it with wifeys. You know what I mean? She cool, man. She ain't got no problem being on automatic. You can send her. She gonna go handle your business. She ain't gonna try to be all in your face, laid up under you all the time. She really finna go home. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him the rundown, even though in my mind, like, damn. After that phone call, I'm be like, fuck, I ain't got this bitch no more, man. Damn, I'm gonna miss that bitch. Oh well. Got to go get another one, man. You know what I mean? Like Easy E say, I said, oh brother, I throw it in the gutter and go buy another. You know what I mean? That's how it is with this pimping, man. You know, he knocked me for the hoe. I said, oh brother. You know what I mean? I go not in the gutter and knock me another. You know what I mean? That's how it is with this pimping, man. Pimping just go knock another. Oh brother, I'm gonna go get me another. You know what I mean? That's just the game, man. But a lot of cats, like I've said before, a lot of cats will try to play that role like that's them, man. Oh yeah, man, I ain't sweating it, you know what I mean? Pimp get knocked, that's whatever, you know what I mean? That's the thing, But man, nigga might be the coolest nigga in the world, but he get knocked for that bitch, boy, you gonna see the truth. You know what I mean? It's gonna be on Pyru. It's gonna be on Crip. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on King David. It's gonna be on Larry. It's gonna be on Will. It's gonna be on all that. You know what I mean? Like, man, all the gang banger gonna come out. You know what I mean? You're like, damn, man, nigga, I didn't even know you was banging. Nigga on King David, nigga. I'm finna go get this bitch, man. This nigga ain't going nowhere with this hoe, nigga. On King David, nigga, I ain't never ever seen you act like this. Man, I'm telling you, that's gonna be that moment. That's when you're gonna really know who your pimp partner is, man. You're gonna be like, damn, man, I've been knowing P for years, man. We done been in 5 states together. I've been in Miami, I've been in Texas with pimping. We done been in New York, we done been in Cali, Vegas. Man, we done stayed in the same room together. We done rode in the car. Like, I done seen him campaign. I done seen him knock hold. Like, damn, I ain't never seen pimping, nigga, on King David, nigga. Damn. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you was about that. That's when you gonna learn some things about your partner, man, that you didn't know. You gonna when he get knocked for that bitch, You gonna learn if he really, gonna take it on the chin and keep it pushing like some pimping, or all the gangsters gonna come out. You gonna see a side of him, you know what I mean, that you ain't never seen, man. For real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. No, the truth does come out in them circumstances. Yeah, or knock something new. Yeah, pimping gonna knock something new, man. Give me more. Do pimps ever have female friends, squares, or are pimps friends with pimps? Uh, as far as like a friend, not like a pimp gonna be cordial with certain people. Like me, it's people that I went to school with, people that I grew up with. Certain females that I'm cordial with. But like hanging out with squares, nah, not when you doing some pimping because you know a real pimp subscribes to the golden rule, right? For those of y'all unfamiliar with the golden rule, it's basically treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? I'm gonna treat this bitch the way I want this bitch to treat me, right? So, um, I'm gonna have a problem with this bitch if she got like a square dude that she hangs out with on the side, if she got a boyfriend or something, or oh, that's the homie. We went to high school together, and I'm finna go smoke a blunt with him. Nah. No, bitch, you know what I mean? You could catch a date with him, you know what I mean? But and that's it. But nah, y'all not finna be friends, uh, and all of that, right? So because that's the case, at the same time, I'm not gonna disrespect her like that. It's really disrespecting my pimping, her hoeing the game, period, if I'm just hanging out with this girl. You know what I mean? Now it's different like with her. If she see her friend from high school in passing and they say what's up, talk for a few minutes and keep it pushing, I don't have no problem with that. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's your old friend from high school, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but as far as having like a relationship where y'all kicking it and chopping it up all the time, So when it comes to the pimping gonna be the same way. You know what I mean? Might be somebody from my neighborhood or something, or somebody that I know from back in the day, whatever. Oh, what's up? How you been? Oh, I've been cool. Well, nice seeing you. I'm gonna leave it at that. But as far as us chopping it up, kicking it, going to the movies and all that old type, going to dinner and all that, nah. You know what I mean? Or if you see me talking to a square, my objective is to turn her into a bear. You know what I mean? My objective is to get her down. You know what I mean? If you see me talking to a square, I'm endeavoring to turn her out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make them fangs come out. I'm trying to turn her into a vampire. You dig? Yeah, that's what I'm on. So yeah, Pip ain't gonna be like friends with a square broad or anything like that. Be cordial, but as far as like friends, nah, not really. Not really. Albert Ward says, what do you think about going to the strip club to chill, not getting a drink or not getting a dance, just a couple drinks? That's cool. I mean, I don't, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Uh, you might knock something in that case. I mean, if you were square, then nothing wrong with that, even as a square. But Omni Supreme says, anywhere I'm at, I'm on my job. Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? When you're doing some pimping for real, you always got your eyes peeled for the real. Because, like I said, treat people the way you want to be treated, or practice what you preach as well. And, you know, a pimp instills in a hoe's mind that you always own a job. You might be pumping gas, bitch, and you might catch a date pumping gas. Or you might be at a restaurant getting something to eat, and you might catch a date in the process of that. Uh, you might be at the grocery store, and you might catch a date in the process of that. So a hoe is always on her job, and a hoe's mentality is the whole world is a track. Everywhere she go is the track. That's a hoe's mentality, right? So a pimp moves with the same philosophy that because I done knocked hoes in some of the most like unlikely places. You dig? So you never know where your next hoe is gonna come from. So yeah, pimp always on his job. Sean Wilson says, "Hey man, I just randomly clicked on this, and the first thing you said was about respecting people. Good first impression, my guy. Good looking, Sean. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad that you clicked in at that time. That was a beautiful thing." Sean says, "I just clicked your IG. You seem like you have some good business sense. You ever think about building another type of business? Just curious, cause the industry you're talking about is risky as fuck." Uh, yeah, I got some ideas. Like I say, I got some brain children that at some point in time I'm gonna bring into fruition and make something happen with. You dig? But I appreciate you respecting or seeing me in that light that I have good business sense. As far as the good business sense thing, man, a lot of that was instilled in me, not just within this game. A lot of it was seasoned and evolved with this game, but before this game, like I talked about in my video, my life before the game, uh, I was hustling at that time. And, I had the cell phone hustle going on with my partner Smooth and his cousin Stacy. And we used to treat that shit like a job, but we had a lot of our business acumen was on point. You know, we would get up early in the morning like clockwork because the Sprint call centers, we used to get on the phone with them and order phones in the call centers because we was in California. I think the call centers would open up at 5 o'clock Pacific time, which would be 8 o'clock Eastern time. I think that's when the call centers would open up. But whatever time it was, we would be up as soon as the call center was open, as soon as them phone lines was open to be able to call and order phones. We up calling each other like, "Hey, my nigga, you up? Yeah, I'm up, man. All right, let's get these orders cracking." And we ordering phones all morning. You know what I mean, so that we can get our shipments in and get our money. So we treated that shit like it was a legit business. You know, so a lot of that was always instilled in me. And then I was the youngest one out of the three of us, and Smooth and Stacy, I learned a lot from them. They was kind of like even though we didn't have that type of relationship, uh, and I'm pretty sure they learned a lot from me too. But in some ways, like I said, because they was older than me, they was kind of like my big brothers. And Smooth and Stacy, they always had a keen mind for business. You know what I mean? They was always in the books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Think and Grow Rich and things like that. And Smooth was into music. I was into music too at the time, but Smooth was more into like Smooth had a fascination with the business side of music. You know what I mean? Smooth was always fascinated with how Jay-Z did things or how Puffy did things, you know what I mean, when it came to business. How Russell Simmons did things when it came to business. Smooth was always fascinated with that type of shit. So he observed and learned a lot of things from certain executives in the music industry, and he would incorporate things like that into his own whatever it was that he did. So when we had the phone hustle cracking, you know what I mean, Smooth incorporated a lot of that same shit into the phone hustle. And naturally, by us being around each other, I would pick certain things up myself, just observing and working with him and Stacy. You know what I mean? Stacy, he was a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki, which was the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad and a whole bunch of other books. You know what I mean? Stacy was like a Robert Kiyosaki fanatic. Anything that Robert Kiyosaki put out, audio books, shit. I think Stacy he might have ended up even going to some Robert Kiyosaki seminars, but he was really into like Robert Kiyosaki. Everything Robert Kiyosaki had, Stacy had it. So again, naturally being around him, I picked up certain things from him when it came to that. So and 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 beyond that, I was just like I've always been a highly ambitious dude, and whenever I got into something, uh, I just went super hard with it. So when it came to that phone hustle, oh, Napoleon Hill is king, yeah, for real. Think and Grow Rich. Actually, it was a is around that same time when I had the phone hustle cracking. It was a little broad that I was messing with. She fell off because I ended up going to jail and ended up going from jail to the pen uh probably like 2 months after we met. So she ended up falling off. You know, she was young. She was like 19 at the time, 20, something like that. But look, and cold part about it too, the same broad I'm talking about who introduced me to Think and Grow Rich, right? True story. I'm in the county one day, right? And you know, in the county jail, LA County, back in them days, I don't know about now, but back in them days, you know, we only had a few channels. Now I think they all got all the modules got cable and everything now. But at that time, we only had basic TV, channel 2, channel 4, channel 5, channel 7, channel 9, channel 11, channel 13. You know what I mean? This is what we had in LA County, right? So, I was on my bunk sleep one day, right? Soul Train come on, so I get up. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, we see bad bitches on Soul Train going down the Soul Train line. We be like, damn man, homegirl fine as a motherfucker. Woo woo woo. So I get up and I'm looking at Soul Train. I'm like, damn, that's my girl right there. You know what I mean? The little broad who I was fucking with when I got locked up. You know what I mean? Like I said, I talked to her like once or twice when I first got locked up, but after that she fell off. But I seen her dancing on Soul Train, looking good in the motherfucker. I'm like, damn man, I'm sitting in this motherfucking raggedy ass county eating soups, and she out there fine as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Some other nigga probably having fun with her, you know. But nah, that chick at around the time when I had the phone hustle going on, uh, she introduced me to Think and Grow Rich. So I had read it before I got locked up, but when I got locked up, I ended up getting it while I was in there, and I don't read thinking I haven't read it in a long time, but I read it probably like 5, 6, 7 times, you know. So, but yeah, I say all of that to say that's when people would say that I have I seem like I got good business sense. That's where that comes from. You know, that whole experience that I had with the phone hustle with Stacy and Smooth. That's where that comes from. You dig? Sean Wilson says that's really smart, combining the natural hustle with proven business skills. Oh, you're from LA. My family is from there. Dig that. Yeah. But yeah, it's and like I said, the people that Smooth was learning from, they really was like naturally hustlers to begin with, like Russell Simmons. He was already like a hustler type of dude, from what I understand. I don't know his whole background before the music, but from what I understand, Russell was like a real hustler before he got into the music industry. Uh, Jay-Z, he was a known hustler before he got into the music industry. You know what I mean? Puff, he had a lot of hustle about himself, not necessarily in the streets, but Puff was he just had that hustle about him early on. So, you know, the people that Smooth was learning from was hustlers who incorporated what they had going on before the music industry. Once they got into the business, they were like Jay-Z. That's what made Jay-Z so cold, because and see, I tell people that all the time, right? I can't remember what it was when it came to Nipsey Hussle that made me related to Jay-Z. Something Nipsey said, I forget what it was. But basically, if you pay attention to a lot of people in the industry, right? Some of the most successful people in the music industry who sustain that success are dudes who have a lot of street experience, or just a lot of hustle experience, period, before they get into the music industry and become successful, right? Like Nipsey. You know what I mean? If you listen to Nipsey's music, he talk a lot about how him and his brother, was hustling and doing their thing, and they was having success on the street level before they got into the music industry. So they accustomed to having things already. Of course, not on the level like they do now, but they're accustomed to having shit, treating themselves. They done been through the experiences of blowing all their money on stupid shit, taking losses, hustling back up for the shit, Same thing with Jay-Z. Jay-Z was in the dope game for a lot of years before he get into the music industry. So Jay-Z already know what it's like to blow all his money on jewelry or cars or whatever the case may be, lose his dope, take losses, hustle back up for everything. So when you have somebody like that who gets into whatever type of business, but we speaking about music, so we'll stick to that. But like when you have them type of dudes getting into the music industry, they already coming in seasoned. They not coming in necessarily from a novice standpoint when it comes to business. So when they start having a lot of money, they already know the feeling of, blowing all their money on something when they first get it. They already know the feeling of taking losses and shit like that, making unwise decisions with money. So when they get a lump sum of money like Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure when he got his first $1 million check, he didn't go blow it on a bunch of material shit, because he done already did that before. Same thing with Nipsey. I'm pretty sure that when Nipsey got his first $1 million check, he didn't just go to the mall and act a fool, or go to the jewelry store or the car lot and act a fool, because he done already did that type of shit in the streets before. Of course, on a smaller scale, but he already knows that feeling. So he not so hard pressed to try to impress people, or had a certain image with material things, as opposed to uh like a 6ix9ine, for instance, right? You know what I mean? 6ix9ine was real young when he get into the music industry, and he didn't really have no experience of hustling and going through shit in the streets and taking losses and dealing with shit like that. So we just gonna we gonna set aside the whole snitching thing and the whole case thing, right? Um, just thinking about the aspect of him, how he handled business. You did see, um, because 6ix9ine comes into the game from a novice standpoint. That's how he was able to get played by Shotty and them, allegedly, when they when he said he found out, they I think they paid him like 250,000, and he found out basically for the shows that he signed the contract for. He signed the contract for like 15 shows, and he was supposed to get some millions, but instead of getting some millions, he only got some hundreds of thousands. You dig? And he got played, and that's because he didn't have that experience of going through shit in the streets and being a hustler. You know what I mean? So um, that's what leaves room for him to get played for something like that. See, somebody who been hustling in the streets, of course, when they get into the music industry is a new animal for them. It's a new arena, so they don't know everything about the music industry, but they still have good business sense. And before they involve themselves in anything, they're gonna take time to understand that. You dig? They gonna 6ix9ine was an entertainer, but so is Nipsey Hussle, so is Jay-Z, so is Puffy, so is a lot of these dudes as entertainers. But I'm talking about, having hustle about yourself, the difference between having a hustler's mentality and having, a novice like worker bee, oh, I'm so happy, I can't believe I got all this money mentality, right? Like I said, 6ix9ine, he come into the game as a novice. So, you know, take like a Nipsey Hustle. You know what I mean? Nipsey got a different story because his success was gradual. Nipsey went through a whole lot to get to where he is now. But 6ix9ine just shot up there, right? But let's say that happened. Let's say that was Nipsey's story, right? Let's say that Nipsey, after his first record, he just shot up because of the experience that he has from the streets. When you selling dope, motherfuckers is trying to beat you all the time. You're not finna let nobody beat you out your money. You know what I mean? Not if you really a hustler and you serious about your money. You're not finna let nobody play you. You're not finna be in the dark about what's going on. You're gonna understand everything that's going on pertaining to your money. So, like I say, if you put somebody with Nipsey's mentality in a 6ix9ine situation, when it came time to sign for them 15 shows, the difference between a 6ix9ine and a Nipsey is gonna take time to understand, okay, how much money is being made, period. You dig? How much money is being generated? How much money is expected to be made with these shows? Okay, it's expected to make this much. Okay, who all is getting paid? Okay, the promoter got to get paid, the venue got to get paid, manager, so on and so forth. Okay, all these people got to get paid. Um, you know, uh, this person's getting paid. What's their job? What's their job? Nipsey gonna take time to understand shit before he signed a contract. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Sinful say, he would have never got played. And it's the same thing. It's a new experience to Nipsey, just like it's a new experience to 6ix9ine. But like I say, because of Nipsey's background before the music industry, you're not finna play Nipsey. You're not finna play Nipsey at all because he's a hustler. Whatever 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 industry or field or whatever that he get into, Nipsey is gonna take time to understand. He not gonna go into nothing blindly, and that's what a 6ix9ine did, and that's what a lot of these young rappers do. Like Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty didn't even know what the fuck a 360 deal was. Blueface. Blueface didn't even know what a 360 deal was. You know what I mean? You ask these people if they got a 360 deal and they don't even know. You know what I mean? Blueface is like, oh, well, all I know is, I fuck with Whack 100 and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, them type of people could get played. And see, like Blueface, I seen the other day, he just bought his first house and congratulations to him. But, for some people, they got to go through shit and bump their head a few times. You know what I mean? Snoop Dogg is another one. You know what I mean? Who come into the music industry with a hustler's mentality, and even though Snoop Dogg initially, I believe, did get played because he still got a hustler's mentality. He learned from his mistakes, and he was able to not only sustain success but make it grow at the same time. E40, Too Short, some more motherfuckers. Know what I mean? With that hustler's mentality before they get into the game. You know what I mean? Master P. These are people that were hustlers before they got into the game. So, because of that, when they get into it, they're going to take time to understand what's going on. Some of them get played, you know what I mean? But the difference is a hustler going to learn from that. Just like when you selling dope or when you out there hustling in the streets doing whatever you're doing. Sometimes when you first get started, you might get beat a few times. But if you really a hustler, you're going to learn from that and you're not going to get beat no more. You're going to make sure like, okay, I know what that feel like. I can't let that shit happen again. Motherfuckers ain't finna beat me no more. Fuck that. You know? So yeah. But that's the beautiful thing about having a hustler's mentality, whatever it is that you get into. You know what I mean? Uh what you think about Ice Cube? See, Ice Cube is another individual. He got a hustler's mentality, and I think that's because Cube came into the game very young, and he wasn't in the streets hustling. But see, the thing about Cube had that man shit early on. You know what I mean? And the reason why Cube had that man shit early on is because he had his father in his life early on, and his father instilled that man shit in him. That's why, unlike everybody else in NWA, you know what I mean? Cube wasn't finna sign that contract, like I said, without understanding what's going on. You know what I mean? And Cube didn't really understand all of what was going on behind the scenes, but he had enough sense to know, like, y'all not gonna play me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm from the ghetto. Yeah, I ain't never had, a lot of money at one time. But at the same time, y'all gonna give me what I'm worth. Y'all not finna think that, oh, I'm gonna be mesmerized or mystified or whatever by this amount of money that I ain't never had when I know I'm supposed to have way more than that. You know what I mean? Cube understood his value. And you wasn't gonna play Cube like a hoe because, like I said, he had that man shit about him. And that's ultimately what it is. A big part of it, like I said, is having that hustler's mentality. But deeper than the hustler's mentality, it's ultimately about having that man shit with you. Whether you a hustler or not, a man ain't finna allow himself to get played. You know what I mean? And that's what it is with Cube. Cube just had that man shit about him early on. You know what I mean? As well as that hustle shit about him early on. And right, like Sinful say, Cube was beyond his years even at that time. For real. He was just blessed to have his father in his life, you know what I mean, who was able to instill certain things in him early on, you know? And the rest of the members of NWA, to my understanding, they didn't have that. That's why, it was kind of like an emotional reaction with them. It made them feel good because, they was caught up in their feelings. They, like Sinful would say, they emotionally reacted. Oh, damn. Oh, you gonna give us this much if we sign this contract? Where I sign. Motherfuckers don't even understand what they signing, or what they're supposed to have. They're not thinking about they value. You did. So so they end up getting played. But my bad. Accidentally clicked out. But yeah. Right, like Big Drew say. What's up, Drew? He say when Cube left NWA, he proved what he was worth. Indeed, he definitely did that. Because Cube didn't do nothing but grow and get bigger and bigger after that. See, Sinful be saying that all the time, and I kind of I agree with him, man. I believe the same thing, man. Don't nobody know what Cube is worth, man. Cube probably got money put up in different places. They say he worth 160 something or some shit like that, man. But all the things that Cube done did in the game, and probably other shit that we don't even know about that he's done. And then like the shit like Cube is man, he's a genius, man. Like the shit him and LL Cool J is doing right now, buying them little networks and shit like that. Man, Cube is doing some power moves right now. You know what I mean? Right, like Tiff will say, Cube is over 500 for sure. That's what I believe. Cube gonna fuck around and be a billionaire real soon, though. Yeah, Cube and LL Cool J, they coming together buying up them little networks, man. Like it's cause see, like I was saying on my live the other day, man, media is the most influential and powerful thing right now. Media. So what is LL Cool J and Cube doing together? You know what I mean? Some seasoned veterans in the game. What are they doing together? They buying media right now. They buying up the little local regional media networks, and what they gonna do is put all that shit together, and you know what I mean, promote they the big three basketball league with that shit, man. And they doing it so quietly too. Like that ain't even something that a lot of people was talking about right now. But pff, Cube is a motherfucking genius, man. Cube is a genius. I tip my hat to him. I admire Cube like a motherfucker. Abdul Hafiz say LL was early buying Walmart stock. I ain't familiar with that, but if he was, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Cube extended the hold up. Hold on a second. Shit. All right. Got shit going on with Master P right now too. Basketball league. Master P need to come up. What I got the hook up too. Yeah, I think that I got the hook up too. Gonna be some good shit. It looked like it. The little clips that I've seen. James Hudson, my Long Beach homie. What's up with it, man? I see you. Greg White, I think you meant to say 300 million. Byron Allen, as a black man, is worth 300 billion from media and TV shows and film deals. Yeah, and I always tripped off of Byron Allen, man, because he's the most boring, corny motherfucker, man. But I know he big though. I do know that. All right, man. I'm gonna answer a few more questions, and Pim gonna go ahead and wrap it up because you know got business to tend to. You dig? Bink on ball four says freeze, keep dropping game on those mofos. I love I love the knowledge. Thanks for lacing me up. Good looking, man. I appreciate you as well. Yeah, I don't think Byron Allen is worth no 300 million, man. Uh I'm pretty positive that he's not. Like, think about, oh yeah, 300 million. I thought you were saying 300 billion again. Yeah, no, I believe he's worth 300 million. Yeah, I can see that because I mean he's been around doing his thing for a long time, and I know he's successful at what he do. So now I can see that. That's how I say you long winded tonight. I like it, P. Yeah, man. Pimp always got something to say, man. That's for damn sure. You know what? It's a trip, man. It actually feels good. I ain't seen. I mean, they probably been in here. I ain't seen every last comment, but it ain't been a whole lot of trolls in this motherfucker. You would think so. You dig? Oh, that's what I forgot to mention too, man. This is my first video since having 10,000 official subscribers, man. So y'all done put a pimp over 10,000, man. I appreciate y'all. You dig? Like I say all the time, man. For those of y'all who been riding with a pimp all this time from the gate or for a long time now, I appreciate y'all for staying down with me and supporting the Freezes It movement on this YouTube. And for those of y'all who are newly subscribed, I appreciate y'all as well. And I look forward to, blessing y'all with a lot of good content in the future, man. And we're going to keep this shit going. And I appreciate all of y'all for supporting the channel in every which way that you do, man. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, like Simple say 10,000 official subscribers. Pimp ain't bought no subscribers. You got people that be buying subscribers and buying views and all that type of shit. I wouldn't even know how to go about that, man. But 10,000 of y'all actually hit that subscribe button for me, man. And I appreciate y'all for that. That's what's up. Take a small love break. Yeah, man. So I damn near feel obligated, man, to like take YouTube a little more seriously now that y'all put me at 10,000. You know, uh, I've always kind of treated it like let me fuck with it. You know what I mean? Let me throw something on there. But I think I got to be a little more consistent now that I got 10,000 of y'all subscribed to me, man. I got to be a little bit more consistent. I know I'll be going months sometimes without putting any content up and everything like that, and that's because I get wrapped up in my day to day things that I be doing and things that I'm working on accomplishing outside of YouTube. But excuse me, I gotta be a little more consistent with y'all now that y'all done put me over 10,000. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna make me stay on YouTube, ain't you? I dig it. I fucks with y'all though. I appreciate all of y'all. Every last one of y'all. I appreciate you. Even the haters, because that's the funny thing. Out of all 10,000 people subscribed to me, I know every last 10,000 of them don't like me. You know what I mean? It got to be at least some hundreds in there. Out of 10,000, I'm sure there's some hundreds in there that don't like me. You know what I mean? But I even appreciate them too. You dig? Even the ones who don't like me, uh, I appreciate them too, because you know, even if they don't like me, I know they tuned in, and if they tuned in, whether they like me or not, I appreciate them. It's all good. You know what I mean? Watching me every day or every time I put something up, like, man, I can't stand this motherfucker. Let me see what this I can't stand the man is talking about now. Motherfucking Freeze. I hate Freeze. Let me see what his ass is talking about now. Hate this motherfucker, man. Let me see what he talking about. Freeze, do you have a consultation rate? Nah, uh, I don't do consultations at this time, and I don't know. I might, that might change in the future, but at this point, right now, I haven't gotten into the consultation thing. Only the exclusives. Put some love in your body. Indeed, man. That's what people who love themselves do. They're gonna put some love in their body. When you boys coming to the meal. Hey man, I was in Milwaukee last year, right after the Super Bowl in Minnesota, right? And my motherfucking car drove and I parked in the spot where there's a gang of snow. Man, and it was cold as fuck outside. It was probably like 16 degrees or some shit. And man, we was out there, you know, uh, I had the bitch in the car, trying to drive out of the snow. And me and my partner who I went out there with and his little homeboys in his neighborhood, man, we was outside trying to push the car, do all kind of push shit under the wheel and got a shovel and was digging snow. We was, man, that shit took like 2 hours to get out of that spot. Out of that one motherfucking parking spot in the snow, man. That's so when I come to the mill, I'm gonna make sure it ain't snowing, man, because I ain't trying to deal with that shit no more. It was cold as fuck, and we was putting in some hard labor trying to get this motherfucking car out of that parking spot, man. So yeah, when I come to the mill, I got to make sure it ain't snowing, man. I'm a bouncer at the club down here. I'll definitely show y'all some love. And hell yeah, be cold. Plus, I'm on that workout tip also. That's what's up, man. I'm always up for a good workout. I gotta say, man, out of all the I like different regions, people with different regions for different things, but I just really fuck with the Midwest, man. Like the Midwest is one of them places. Uh, people is just they, like for instance, right? The Midwest is one of them places where people are still like, you know, probably not everywhere, but in a lot of places in the Midwest, people are still like real hospitable. You know what I mean? They're real like neighborly and look out for you. Like one time, I think I told that story. One time I was in Cincinnati, right? And I was fucking around in Cincinnati, and I fucked around and my car battery played out on me, right? And I was in this random neighborhood. I didn't know where the fuck I was at when the car played out on me. So I look on my phone and I seen it was an O'Reilly, uh, probably like a half a mile. So I walked to the motherfucking O'Reilly's, bought a brand new battery, and carried this heavy ass battery like a half a mile back to the car, right? But the car was parked in front of this house. And the dude in the house, I guess he seen me under my hood and shit. So white dude, he come out. He was like, "Hey man, you need anything?" And I was like, "Nah, man. I was just changing my battery. I'm almost done now, but I appreciate it though." He was like, "Oh man, I wish you would have just came and knocked on my door and told me what you needed, man. I got all kind of tools in my garage." Woo, woo, woo. Like I'm not used to that type of shit coming from LA. People in LA ain't like that. You know what I mean? So, or just California, period. Like motherfuckers in California, you can't just go knock on somebody's door randomly. You know what I mean? And I know it's places in the Midwest that you can't do that neither. But that's just one of them places that I know that type of shit is common in the Midwest. Motherfuckers are just real hospitable, especially if they fuck with you. They gonna open their door for you. and let you have your way. You know what I mean? Like people in the Midwest is just real cool. And like I said, when it come to hoes, my favorite hoes, a lot of them really done been Midwest bitches because Midwest bitches just be tough. Man, like the Midwest is just, they just build tough people, dealing with that snow and fucked up weather, just like, you know, um, just a lot of shit that goes on in the Midwest that people got to deal with, man. Midwest just build tough motherfuckers, period. You know what I mean? So like the hoes that I've had from the Midwest, they've been some of the most solid, you know, they just been some of the most solid, most loyal, down, you know what I mean? Not gonna cry. See a California bitch if the weather too cold. She like, oh, I don't want to go out there. It's too cold. Or, oh, it's too hot. I'm gonna have a heat stroke. Oh, my feet hurt. I gotta take these shoes off. Man, Midwest bitch gonna stay down for 24 hours plus with them heels on. She is not gonna take them heels off. You know what I mean? Midwest bitch gonna be down in a mini skirt, below 0 degrees. You know what I mean? They just different, man, in a beautiful way. And I got a lot of love for the Midwest, period, man. So you showing G too much love to your boy right now. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I just got a lot of love for the Midwest. I just spent a lot of time out there, and I just appreciate the Midwest. You know, like people in the Midwest, they just got them. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. A lot of people in the Midwest just got them old school, like good old fashioned values that a lot of people don't have no more. A lot of places in the Midwest still got that. So I digs that. Yeah, Bing on Ball 4 says, Yo, Freeze, can I donate to Cash App? You will get all the bread instead of giving some to YouTube. And Sensei Cash App be taking money too. Yeah, but see, like the thing with Cash App, if you allow it to sit there, I think it's like 3 business days or something. It'll automatically transfer the money over. But no, if you want to donate to my Cash App, you can. I believe my Cash App is in my about section of my channel. But if it's not, for those of y'all interested in my Cash App, is Freeze is it. Just one word, Freeze IZIT. So that's a certain dirty South, bro. Guess you never been. Nah, the South is like that too. The South people are like real hospitable as well too. You know what I mean? But I don't really know how to describe it. Midwest people is just they just different, man. Christian Murphy, once again, good looking for the $2. You did. Uh, you know, Southern people are real, hospitable as well too. You know what I mean? And one thing I like about Southern hoes, I'm talking about hoes once again. You know, speaking of Memphis, you know what I mean? Tennessee, she was actually from Knoxville, but it was a particular hoe that I had from Knoxville, man. She was just see, that's one thing I like about Southern girls or just Southern people, period. They it's certain values that Southern people have as well. Just like I said, Midwest do, Southern people do as well. And the South is one of them places where, you know, young women actually know how to cook. You know what I mean? California ain't one of them places where uh, a girl in her 20s in 2019 really know how to cook. It's a slim chance. If you got a girl from California and she like 21, 22 years old, 9 times out of 10, the best thing she gonna fix for you is some motherfucking hot dogs, top ramen. You know what I mean? She might be able to warm something up for you in the microwave, but she really don't know how to cook. You know what I mean? Uh, East Coast might have a higher likelihood than the West as far as the cooking thing, but East Coast bitch, she ain't really gonna know how to cook neither. You know what I mean? Uh, right, like Anton say, hot pockets. Right, you know what I mean? A New York bitch, she might be able to fix you up a hot pocket. Right, peanut butter and jelly. You know what I mean? Uh, a Midwest broad, she got it's a higher likelihood than the East and the West Coast. You know what I mean? A Midwest broad, it's like a 25% chance. You know what I mean? That she know how to cook something for you. You know what I mean? But the South, it's a high chance of a young girl. If you get a young broad from the South, it's a high likelihood that she know how to cook, and not just cook, she know how to get down. And you know what I mean, she just got that Southern hospitality thing. You know what I mean, she gonna keep the joint clean. Like I said, the broad that I had from Knoxville, still to this day, that's the cleanest, most neatest hoe that I ever had. She the type, she not gonna let nothing be out of place. You know what I mean? I might be tired and be like, oh, take this shirt off and lay it on the chair. She gonna come right behind me and fold it up and put it somewhere, or put it in a dirty laundry or something like that. She was one of them. She ain't gonna let nothing be out of place. She gonna make the bed every motherfucking time. You ain't gotta tell her nothing. She ain't one of them bitches that you go in the bathroom at her joint and there's panties and bras all over the floor, and you know what I mean, the sink top is dirty. You can't put your hands on that motherfucker without getting film on your shit. She wasn't one of them types. She was extremely clean. You know what I mean? And she was from Tennessee. You know, so yeah, I really like Southern. I like the South too. You know what I mean? But you know, I like different things about each place. I talked about this before. You know what I mean? You know, when it come to women, if we just talking about women, you know, Southern women is probably gonna be the most hospitable. Uh, Midwest women, they're gonna be the most solid and toughest. You know, stay down. You know what I mean? Go through it to get to it. Ain't gonna be on no crybaby shit. That's the Midwest. You know what I mean? Uh, let's see. Uh, Crafty. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, the crafty thing, that's gonna be the West Coast. You know what I mean? West Coast got the craftiest females, I think. You know what I mean? And they but one thing I like about, damn, I can't even say that no more, man. I used to be able to say that all the time, man. What I was gonna say is, one thing I like about West Coast females is that they be real ambitious. You know, they think they deserve the world, and they ain't got a problem asking for the world. But it ain't really like that no more. This times that we in is just different now. West Coast used to be like that. Let's see, East Coast. Uh, East Coast got some riders. Like uh, my experience with East Coast women, they gonna just be real down for you. You know what I mean? East Coast broad, she gonna hide the dope in the pussy for you. You know what I mean? She gonna take the gun charge. You know, she gonna ride on niggas for you. You know what I mean? That's the East Coast broad. You know, like that's one thing I like about East Coast bitches. You know what I mean? If you get beat up by some niggas, she might be 5 feet tall, 110 pounds. You know what I mean? She gonna be fighting with you. She gonna be firing on niggas with you. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna sit there and let you get jumped. Not my man. You know what I mean? That's the East Coast broad. At least my experience. You know what I mean? Everybody else might have different experiences, you know what I mean? But East Coast bitches, they really gonna ride for their man. You know what I mean? Bitch gonna take a charge for her man, all that. You know what I mean? Not saying that, you know, not condoning that, but you know, if it come down to it, you probably ain't gonna even have to tell her. Like she gonna be like, my nigga, I got this. You know what I mean? You go on. I'm finna take this on the chin. We good. Don't worry about it. At least that's how it used to be. Trying to think. Put the hoodie on. Right. Know what I mean? East Coast bitch, she gonna put the hoodie on with you. You know what I mean? She gonna ride with you. Know what I mean? Come on, let's go. Yeah. That's that East Coast bitch for sure. Certain areas of Southern Cali are still producing women with that mentality. Yeah, like, hold on, let me go back. Hold on, reading these comments, trying to catch up, y'all. I think I'm certain comments I ain't seeing. The MG44563 say, "What about them hoes in Hawaii?" Now, uh, I haven't necessarily had a hoe that was from Hawaii. I've had a Islander hoe. She wasn't from Hawaii though. She was from Guam. You know what I mean? She was alright, but she wasn't really the best representation of Guam. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna count certain things against Guam. But one thing I can say though, the bitch that I had from Guam, I knocked her in Hawaii. And one thing I can say, that bitch was married when I first was getting at her, right? You know what I mean? And I give her this. I give her credit for this. You know what I mean? She was married. She was separated from her husband, but she was married to him still, and she kind of was lightweight, thinking about reconciling. It was a possibility, but one day that bitch came to my room with the motherfucking divorce papers finalized and was like, "Look, me and my husband, we officially divorced, and I'm ready to fuck with you. Let's go get this money. I'm ready to get down however you want me to. Let's go get it." You know what I mean? I was like, okay, bitch, that's what's up. You know what I mean? That's another something that I could, check off on my pimp list. You know what I mean? Things that I did in the game that not everybody else did. You know what I mean? I could officially say I made a bitch, divorce her husband and choose up with this pimping. You know what I mean? So yeah, she did that. That was cool. So I give her credit for that. But as far as hoes in Hawaii, like that's not necessarily from there, but that's just out there. Hawaii kind of it to me. I haven't been in some years now, but the last time I've been to Hawaii, uh, it was kind of similar to Vegas in a lot of ways, man. It just wasn't the quality wasn't the same. Quality wasn't like how it used to be. A lot of bitches running around in flip flops and looking ratchet. You know what I mean? Last time I was in Hawaii, there was a lot of that going on. Somebody who'd have been there more recently probably could verify that or tell me something different or, whatever the case. I don't know. I haven't been there in some years, so I can't really say what's going on right now. Right, like Sinful say, it's a blessing just to still hear the voice of your grandmother and mother. You are a blessed man at Drew. Civil to P. I'm very thankful every day I can still enjoy her presence for sure, bro. Yeah, man. I appreciate moms. I still got moms here. You know what I mean? Grandma gone on, and I be thinking about grandma all the time, man. I miss grandma dearly, but I'm at ease when it come to grandma because I know where she was spiritually. You know when she left here, so I know where she is now, and I know she lived to be 89 years old, so she lived a good amount of years in this world, and she lived a full life, and she was good to a lot of people, and yeah, like I know where grandma is now, so like when of course I'm gonna always miss my grandma, but uh right, like Simple say, my grandma was a woman of God for sure. So you know, I wasn't really sad when she passed away like that. I was sad in the sense that I missed her, but I wasn't really sad too much when she passed away because like I said, my mind was at ease. Some people, and especially when they're young, my grandmother, she lived, like I said, she lived a full life. Like when her youngest son, my Uncle Mark, when he passed away, Uncle Mark, I think Uncle Mark was like 46. He was like 45, 46 years old when he passed away. So that's still young as hell. So I ain't gonna lie, I was sad as a motherfucker when Uncle Mark passed. You know what I mean? Still miss him to this day. But grandma, like I said, she lived a full life, so I wasn't really sad when grandma passed. You know what I mean? I was at ease. And I don't know, maybe God used me in that way because it was a lot of people that was sad when grandma passed, so I was able to be strong for them. You did take me a small little break. Big Drew say one thing a Southern grandma gonna do. You going to church? I stayed in the church as a kid. Hey, for real, that's some real talk, Drew. Because my grandmother, she was from Little Rock, Arkansas, right? And so when I was real little, we stayed in the projects in Pacoima, right? And grandma didn't stay in the projects, but what she would do is every Saturday night, grandma would come to our house and spend the night because the church that we went to was like it kind of was in the projects. It wasn't like exactly in the projects, but it was like put it like this, it was kind of like surrounded by the projects, the church that we went to, right? So what grandma would do, like I said, she'll come to our house in the projects and spend the night Saturday night, then early Sunday morning, she'll take me and my brother, my older brother. My brother is 4 years older than me. She would take both of us to church with her every morning, right? And it was funny, man. This just go to show you how long ago this was, man. Grandma was so sweet. But what she would do is before we get to church, she'll give my brother a quarter and she'll give me a quarter to put in the collection plate. You know what I mean? She would give each one of us 25 cents, you know what I mean, to put in the collection plate when tithes and offering time came around. You know what I mean? That's what lets you know this is a long time ago, you know what I mean? Because if it's some grandmas still doing that right now, they got to be real old school. You know what I mean? 25 cents for the collection plate. You know what I mean? 2019, you're gonna have to do probably at least $5 or something, you know what I mean? But right, like Silver say them old days, you know what I mean? Grandma was gonna make sure, you know what I mean, she come into our house Saturday night, she spending the night, and in the morning she gonna take me and my brother to church with her, and she gonna make sure that each of us got 25%, 25 cent for the collection plate. James Hudson, yeah, Pacoima off the 118 freeway. Yeah, when I was real little, we stayed in the projects over there, and yeah, grandma used to come and take us to church with her, man. That's the good old days, man. And man, I might have to do that one day, man. Tell some project stories. You know what I mean? I might have to, one of my story time days. You know what I mean? I might have to sit back and recollect everything because the projects, man, it was some good times in there. You know what I mean? That's the good old days. That's when childhood was really fun, man. You know, these kids nowadays they don't even know really what childhood is, man, because they inside the house all the time on tablets and phones and computers and laptops, and they don't really go outside and play. Yeah, man, them good old days. Granny made you appreciate things. Yeah, hey man, but my grandma didn't play neither though, man. You know, I didn't really feel her wrath. You know what I mean? My cousin felt the wrath though. She put a demo down on him one time, but grandma be on your helmet about certain things, man. Like with certain stuff, she'll get impatient. Yeah, right. Them projects on San Fernando Road, exactly. They call the San Fernando Gardens. You know what I mean? Some people call them the Pacoima projects, but they really call the San Fernando Gardens. And yeah, they are right there on San Fernando Road and Lehigh. Yeah, we stayed when I was a real little kid. We stayed up in there, and oh, but I remember one time I was like in the third grade, and I didn't understand what Grandma was saying. You know what I mean? I understood the definition of the word lesson, but you know she was old school, and that's how them old school people talk. So I remember I came home from school one day because at this time we was living with Grandma. You know what I mean? Because after we moved out the projects, before Mom's went and got another house of her own, we stayed with Grandma for a little while. So I came home from school one day. I think I was like in the third grade. Yeah, I was about like 9 years old, and Grandma she say, "Hey Jason, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "How was your lesson today?" And I said, "My what?" And she was like, "Your lesson." And I'm like, "Grandma, what you talking about my lesson?" And she's like, "Boy, how was your lesson?" And I'm like, "What lesson you talking about, Grandma?" She's like, "School, boy. How was school?" And I was so confused. I'm a little kid, you know what I mean? Grandma, she about to go off on me, you know what I mean? Because I didn't understand what she was saying. Right. But hold on. The switch or extension cord. Oh yeah, see, grandma, she was old school like that too. Like I said, I didn't feel grandma's wrath. You know what I mean? I remember one time she made my little sister go. My little sister probably was like 5 years old at the time, but she made my little sister go over there to the bush and get a switch one time. Damn, I forgot all about that when you said that switch. See, these kids nowadays, man, they don't know about them real whoopings. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers go to jail nowadays for whooping their kids, man. Ain't that shit crazy? But back in them days, man, yeah, grandma, she was one of them. My grandma was gonna make you go get a switch real quick. If you was acting up, yeah, go out there to that tree and get me a switch. So I could beat your ass. Grandma didn't really cuss like that, but she would sometimes. If you got grandma really, really upset, she was sweet, man. But uh, if you got grandma really, really upset, she would cuss sometimes. You know what I mean? And talk about cooking. Mm, mm, mm. Boy, grandma was off the chain when it came to the cooking, man. Mario Green said these grannies these days are thoughts and childish. uh, Big Drew say I'm from an era where they paddled you in school for real, for real, for real. Drew, even my era, you know what I mean? When I was in elementary school in the late '80s, man, teacher would wash your mouth out with soap for real. You know what I mean? Teacher pick, take out that yardstick and pop your ass for real. You know what I mean? I wish them type of days would come back, man. It's a damn shame. Everything is a fucking crime nowadays, man. Can't even whoop your own kids. But I remember them days, you know what I mean? I have when I was a kid, I seen that. I seen a kid get their mouth washed out with soap in the classroom, and I have seen a kid get popped with that yardstick in the classroom when I was little. For sure I seen that. Dre Henley with the $5. Good looking, man. I appreciate you. Albert Ward say my grandma whooped me in school in front of the classroom. Hell yeah. See, I can imagine my grandma would do something like that too. See, my grandma worked at the school. She worked in the cafeteria at the school where her kids went. So my mother and my uncles, they all went to school at the school where my grandmother worked. She worked in the cafeteria, so they already knew not to act up at school because their mama was right there. You know what I mean? They not gonna do that. But yep, those are the good old days, man. I miss them days for real. Them days where like I remember see it, it's just different now. See, it's stuff like that, like young people who's watching, like when you see older people like in their 30s and up, like myself or sinful, like you just don't understand like a lot of the reason why we are the way that we are. Just little stuff like older people checking you about certain things as a kid, right? Like I remember, I'll never forget when I think I was in the sixth grade, right? It was this girl that I liked named Tiffany. And I used to think Tiffany was like the prettiest girl in the world, man. And Tiffany had gave me her phone number. And see, you young people, y'all probably don't know, much about it, but it's this thing called a house phone, right? See, y'all probably ain't never, you probably seen it. If you watch an old movie, you might see it in an old movie, you know what I mean? But, not the cell phone, the house phone, you know what I mean? And you would plug it up to the wall. And I know nowadays you plug your phone up to the wall to charge it, but no, the house phone, you had to plug it up to the wall in order to use it. If it wasn't plugged up to the wall, it didn't work. You know what I mean? So you had to plug it up to the wall, you know what I mean, in order to use it, right? And this is how we communicated back in the days. We communicated on house phones, you know what I mean? So if you wanted to call somebody, you had to catch them while they was at home. And if they was out in the streets moving around, you really probably didn't have no way to call them. You know, later on, everybody started having pagers, you know what I mean? So if you call somebody on the house phone and they wasn't home, we had these other things called pagers. I know you young people, y'all probably don't know nothing about pagers, right? But a pager was a little bitty box like this, you know what I mean? Or yeah, beepers. You know what I mean? We call them beepers too. You know what I mean? But the beeper, we used to say back in the days, hit me on the hip because the beeper, people would keep it on their hip. And the beeper was like this. And the old school beepers, they had like I wish I had something. Okay, hold on. Beeper was about the size of this, right? These are my headphones. Beeper about the size of this, right? And at the top of the beeper right here was a screen. You know what I mean? And it would have like two buttons right here next to the screen. So if you call them at their house and they wasn't at home and they was out moving around and you didn't know where they was at, you could beep them, right? You could hit them on the beep, hit them on the hip. You know what I mean? You could beep their ass, and you could put your number in a beeper. What you would do from your house phone, you would call a beeper number. These beepers had a phone number to them, right? And you would call the beeper, and it'll allow you to put whatever message you want to send numerically. You can only send numerical messages. You see nowadays, y'all got text messages and all that. Back in the days, we didn't have texting. It was just numerical. You know what I mean? So You know what I mean? You could put your phone number in there, or like somebody else said just a minute ago, 911 if it was an emergency. You could put woo woo 911 or something like that. Or, 143, 143, man, I love you. You know what I mean? The the one was I because I is one letter word. Love, that's 4 letter word, and you is a 3 letter word. So, you know what I mean? Back in the days, it's a guy named Music Soul Child. Some of you young people probably don't know about, but he had a song called 143. You know what I mean? And 143 meant I love you because that's how we used to put messages, numerical messages in the pager. You know what I mean? So yeah, before the QWERTY, like Anton say, before the QWERTY, you know what I mean? We had just you could just put 1 4 right. Roddy, you remember that 143? You know what I mean? 143 was that message back in the day. You know what I mean? You want to tell somebody you love them, you put 143 in there and they know what you talk about. You know what I mean? So but basically back to my point, right? That's what we had, house phones. And this girl, I'm in the 6th grade, a little light skinned girl with green eyes named Tiffany. She was pretty than the motherfucker. I thought she was the prettiest girl in the world at the time. Tiffany had gave me her phone number, right? And she lived with her grandmother. So I called the house one day, right? And her grandmother answered the phone. She say, hello. And I say, can I speak to Tiffany, please? Boy, who is this? Oh, my name is Jason, ma'am. Boy, how you gonna call my house and you don't say hello, ma'am? How you doing? You don't say nothing to me. You just gonna skip past me and say, "Can I speak to Tiffany, please?" This ain't Tiffany house. This is my house. You don't even know who you talking to. You didn't say, "Ma'am, how you doing?" You didn't introduce yourself. You just gonna call my boy. Don't you ever call my house no more? Click. Man, grandma mashed on me real quick and then hung up on me, man. She ain't even let me get a word in. Grandma just told me what she wanted to tell me and then hung up on me, man. You know what I mean? But I learned from that experience. You know what I mean? At a very young age. I think I was like 11 or 12 years old at the time. But I learned from that when you call a girl's house, you know what I mean? Everybody got cell phones now. But when you call a girl's house, and her mother or her grandmother or her father or whoever answers the phone, you say, "Hello, ma'am, how you doing? My name is Wooty Whoop," or "Hello, sir, how are you? My name is Wooty Whoop." And then they say whatever they saying. I was calling to speak to Tiffany. Is it okay if I speak to her? You learn how to be a gentleman from experiences like that early on. You know what I mean? If grandma hadn't mashed on me like that when I was a little kid, I probably wouldn't have learned that lesson at that time. You know what I mean? And who knows? But see, you kids nowadays, y'all not really getting them lessons because the people before y'all, they didn't really get them lessons. And see, you don't nobody got house phones no more. You know what I mean? So you not it's gonna be rare that you get them kind of lessons nowadays. You know what I mean? But I would do the same thing if we still had house phones and some little boy called my house asking for my daughter. You know what I mean? Hold on, boy. You calling my house. You don't speak to me when you call my house? What's your name, boy? Who are you? Who your daddy? Who your mama? Woo. I'm drilling his ass. You know what I mean? But that's how it's little things like that, like how they say it takes a village to raise a child. It's little stuff like that, being contributed from different people that teaches a kid, how to be a lady or a gentleman. You know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate grandma for mashing on me like that. You know what I mean? Grandma let me have it, boy. I called her house and I ain't say nothing to her. That was the first thing out of my mouth. She sounded sweet at first. You know what I mean? That's why I thought it was all good. She answered the phone. She say, in a sweet old black woman voice, "Hello, can I speak to Tiffany, please?" And I said, "Please." So at that time, to my understanding, I was being nice because I said, "Please." You know what I mean? I said, "Can I speak to Tiffany, please?" Boy, grandma checked me. Boy, you gonna call my house and you don't speak to me? You don't say hello, ma'am. How you doing? None of that. Don't you ever call my house no more. Click. Man, grandma snapped on me. But I appreciate her for that because she taught me something. Greg White say very true. Freeze. Parents regulated back in the day. For sure they did, man. But I didn't have that problem ever again because I learned from that experience. Right, like Helena say, the village was allowed to beat your ass, and your parents beat your ass again for having someone in the village beat your ass in the first place. Yeah, for real. I remember them times too where the neighbor could whoop you. You know what I mean? Then you come home and moms, pops, whoever gonna whoop you again. You know what I mean? For real. Taj, yeah, grandma gave me a tongue lashing for sure. She let me have it, and I appreciate her for that. You know what I mean? You know, but like Helena say, we don't live in the type of times no more. You know, the way it is now, people in the neighborhood don't even know each other. People could live next door to each other for years and never even speak because everybody is in their own little world. Everybody's in the cell phones. That's how everybody communicate now, social media, all that type of shit. So we don't have them type of communities no more. You know, that type of camaraderie and things like that. Greg White said 3 or 4 ass whoopings in the same day. For real. You know what I mean? Like Drew said, he remember them days where, you get paddled at school. If something like that happened, you know what I mean? When you go home, you're going to get it again for acting up in the first place. But it's just a trip how the times are now, you know what I mean? Like, see, these people, basically people that was born in the 90s, if you was born in the 90s, more than likely you don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about being popped at school or getting your mouth washed out with soap, because there's laws against that type of shit now. You know what I mean? If a teacher was to do that to a kid now, if a teacher was to take a yardstick and pop a kindergartner or a first grader or something like that, second grader, if a teacher was to take a yardstick and pop them, they're going to be all over social media. They're going to be all over news. And, the school is going to be forced to take some type of action against that teacher. Teacher going to fuck around, lose their job, won't be able to teach no more, all that type of shit, just for doing something that, like, back in the days, it was common. That was regular shit. Wasn't no laws against no shit like that. You know what I mean? Nowadays, parents can't even whoop their own kids. Parents can't even whoop their own kids, let alone a teacher whooping their kid. So that's just like, I think I told this story before, but I was in jail in Phoenix in the county jail with this dude, right? And he was in there, and he was a black dude, but his kid was biracial. His son was had a white mother, so his son was real light skinned, right? So I think his son was like 6 years old, something like that. So basically, he had chastised his son for something that he did, right? And his son went to school and he had bruises on him, right? Like I said, he real light skinned, so he bruised easy. So his son go to school and got bruises on him. The son didn't even say nothing about the bruises or did his father have whooped him or any. The little boy didn't say nothing like that, right? The people at the school took it upon themselves. When they seen the bruises, they didn't ask no questions. They took it upon themselves to call the police, and the police came to this man's house, arrested him, and then uh, made it so that he couldn't even go to his own house because his son lives there. And they put some type of order on him where he can't even be around his own son for that time. You know what I mean? So he was saying, he was like, man, when I get out of jail, I can't even go to my own house because my son is there. I'm like, damn, that shit is crazy. And it's all started, like I said, from somebody at his son's school seeing the bruises and not asking no questions, just calling the people and then they come to the man's house and arrest him. I'm like, man, that shit is crazy. Right, Anton. I'm the same way. I hold true to old tradition in my household. Ass whipped, still work well in my domain. I'm the same way, man. I don't whoop my daughter all the time. You know what I mean? But when I do, I make I basically I'm not sparing the rod for sure. It ain't the type of thing where I'm scared to do it. You know what I mean? If I end up in jail for whooping my kid, then hey, I ain't wishing it on myself, but that's just a risk that a motherfucker gonna have to take. Cause mine, if she deserve an ass whooping, she gonna get one for sure. You know what I mean? I just not too long ago, I ain't gonna get all into the story, but um, my daughter, she's 9 years old now, and she had got out of line, did something that she wasn't didn't have no business doing, and I came over there. It was actually her and her brother. Her brother is a year older than her, so she 9, her brother is 10, right? And her brother looks at me as his father as well. So I went over to their house, man, and walked in the living room. I said, "Both of y'all got some underwear on?" They nodded their head. They said, "Yeah." I said, "Take your pants off." So they took their pants off and they down their underwear now. Well, I took that tearing their ass up. Then I made them get in push-up position for about 30 minutes. And the whole time they in push-up position, I'm lecturing their ass, you know what I mean? Because they both was out of line doing things they didn't have no business. You know what I mean? Lecturing their ass, letting them have it, you know? But they understand, because see, that's why the kids growing up right now is so fucked up because, see, what they don't understand is when you whoop kids, what you basically letting them know is that it's consequences when you do wrong. Especially because, like in this case, when I whooped them, it was something that they knew better than. I'm not one of them type of parents that just, you know, if the kids do something that they ain't supposed to be doing, I'm just whooping them just because. No, like if they do something that they shouldn't be doing, but they don't know better then I'm gonna spare them that time, but I'm gonna let them know like, look, you're not supposed to be doing that. But if it's something that they know well that they're not supposed to be doing, but they still doing it, man, they getting it. They getting it. And see, like I said, what people don't understand is that when they don't get that, they don't really have no concept of consequences. You know, in them households where kids ain't really getting whooped, um, in a lot of cases they don't really understand consequences. So they just wild. They just do whatever the fuck they want to do, and they think it ain't gonna be no consequences to it. And see, when they grow up and they get later in life, they're gonna have problems because they just moving like it ain't no consequences. But mine understand and see that's something that I explain to them as well. I let them know like, look, um, there's consequences for doing wrong. You know, for every reaction or for every action there's a reaction. So you want to take good actions so that you get good reactions from the things that you do. But when you take bad actions, you're gonna get a bad reaction from that as well. So you want to be good as much as possible whenever it's within your power to be good. You dig? I explain this to them at 9 and 10 years old. So I have conversations with them like that already early on. So and they understand and they demonstrate shit. My baby mama just called me earlier tonight. You know what I mean? I hear my daughter crying in the background, and her mom is like, uh, "Your daughter is over here. She having a fit. She kicking and screaming and hollering because she don't want to go over her auntie house, and she think that this is woo. She thinks this is okay. So I get her on the phone And I remind her, first of all, I'm like, okay, you need to stop crying immediately right now, you know, and then I'm letting her know, like, look, you understand that what you're doing is disrespectful. At first, she was like, I'm not disrespecting my mom. Woo, woo, woo. Then I explained it to her. I say, look, you kicking and screaming and yelling, you know what I mean? Because your mom told you that you got to do something, that's disrespectful. So you are disrespecting your mom. So I'm giving her understanding because in her mind, she's not being disrespectful, but I'm letting her know what she's doing is disrespectful. You dig? And then I further let her know, I'm like, okay, well, even though you doing this, you kicking and screaming and yelling and crying and all that, that's not gonna stop you from going over there. I'm like, what's the problem? She like, well, at my aunt's house, it's boring over there, and we can't go outside, and woo woo woo. It's nothing to do over there. I'm like, okay, but you kicking and screaming not gonna change the fact that you gotta go over there. So why are you doing it? I don't know. And I'm like, I told you before about disrespecting your mom. You know it's consequences for that. Uh, do you want them consequences again? You remember them consequences, right? No, I'm not gonna disrespect my mom. she tightened up real quick, you know what I mean? Because she remembered them consequences, man. We not tolerating disrespect over here. You're not finna be no disrespectful child of mine. I'm not having it. You dig? So, sometimes they're gonna need reminders, but you gotta keep, along with whooping them, you gotta let them understand why they getting whooped. At least that's what I do. You know what I mean? I don't just whoop them just because, you know, you gonna understand why you getting it. So it's a lot of kids that's not getting that and they don't understand consequences. So that's why you have kids that just be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because mine is learning, okay, I can't be disrespectful because I'm gonna get a consequence that I don't like behind that. So it's not good to be a disrespectful person. So let me chill out on that. But, you know, them kids who don't get that, they think it's okay to be disrespectful. So they grow up and they just disrespectful people. And that's why you got a lot of hoes in the game that just be talking crazy. Like, I remember I was in a casino in Vegas one time, right? And there was these two black bras in there, flip flops on, looking ratchet as a motherfucker. And the security came up to him and he was asking them for their ID, right? But the security guard, he had some kind of disability or something because his head was like bigger than normal. I don't know if he had like some type of thing with his brain or his skull or something, but uh you could tell he definitely had some type of disability or something because of the way his head was, right? So he came up to the girls and he asked them for their ID, right? Which is normal shit in the casino. But these little bras, obviously they ain't got no pimping. And then beyond not having no pimping, they didn't have a father like myself that beat their motherfucking ass whenever they was being disrespectful to their mama or they auntie or to an adult or whoever, authority. They didn't have that obviously growing up, right? So, and beyond that, whenever they got disrespectful, nobody ever checked them on it growing up. So it's obvious because, well, I say one of them, because one of them was the one it was two little bras, but one of them was the one who was being just highly disrespectful. Uh, so dude asked him for the ID, and the one they both was like, well, why you need our ID? Why you ain't checking nobody else ID? Woo woo woo. And dude was being polite with him. He like, well, ma'am, this is just something that we do. Uh, we just would like to see your ID. It's no big deal, man. We just want to see your ID. So um the one disrespectful one, she like, nigga, get the fuck out of my face, nigga, with your big ass head. And woo, woo, ugly ass nigga. Woo, just and the man, he didn't come with no type of disrespect because you got security in them casinos that are disrespectful sometimes, that talk crazy to you and all that type of shit. But dude, he wasn't one of them. He just was polite and can I see your ID? Which is he just doing his job. But the broad just was like being like highly disrespectful with the man. And I just like I was tripping off of that, man. And you could just tell, like I say, the smallest gesture speak volumes. You could just tell she was one of them type of kids that was disrespectful and she just grew up to be a disrespectful faggot ass bitch. You know what I mean? So, she grew up in them times where it's a crime now to whoop your kid. You dig? Shit ain't cool, man. Freeze on the strip or Fremont Street downtown. Nah, this was on the strip. Matter of fact, this was in the MGM. All right, y'all. Well, man, Pimp been live for 3 hours and 26 minutes almost, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up now. Shit, I think I said like an hour and a half ago I was gonna wrap it up. But yeah, right, new child taking us down memory lane. Yeah, you know how that shit go. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up now. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. Know what I mean? Wipe your feet off going out the door because we leaving now. Know what I mean? Hit that thumbs up button for a pimp. I appreciate you for hitting the thumbs up button. Even if you hit the thumbs down button on the pimp, I appreciate you for that as well. I appreciate y'all for your comments, all your feedback, all your good questions and things like that. I appreciate you for your shares. I appreciate you for hitting that subscribe button. And once again, I appreciate y'all for officially putting the pimp over 10,000 subscribers. Greatly appreciate y'all for that. Uh, appreciate you hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate you for your super chats, all of y'all who contributed. I appreciate you for your support in every which way that you come with it. And we're gonna do this again in the near future. Y'all already know. I know it's the weekend. If y'all out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion.